hardware on display. This was a young girl, 10 years old probably, Kim Ju-A. And it's interesting that she was at this parade. She was also at a banquet beforehand in which she was being clapped by a lot of generals with medals on their chest. In North Korea, the country has been ruled for 3 generations by one family, the Kim family. And of course, therefore, there's speculation that the next generation, perhaps this young girl, might take over from her father one day.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. Shallow earthquake has shaken Indonesia's easternmost province. 4 people were killed. News and analysis, townhall.com. An analysis concludes that some 240,000 young people in 21 states have been missing from school since the start of the COVID pandemic.
The analysis by the Associated Press, Stanford University's big local news project, and Stanford education professor Thomas D. has found that the students didn't return to their public schools, didn't move out of state, or didn't sign up for private school or homeschool. The AP learned of students and families avoiding school for a range of reasons. Some are still afraid of COVID, are homeless, or have left the country. Some students couldn't study online and found jobs instead, and some slid into depression. I'm Donna Warder.
More Americans filed for jobless benefits last week, but layoffs remain historically low. This despite the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate policy aimed at cooling the economy and bringing down inflation. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. It really is Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
Double check.
I fact-checked it.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to it. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. I know it doesn't look it right this second, but it's supposed to be kind of nasty today.
Really?
Allegedly. There's supposed to be rain and snow chances.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But like now it's cool and cold out. Don't
It's
get me wrong.
chilly, but
it's sunny.
kind of nice.
Yeah, it's sunny and kind of clear, but
Yeah.
they say we got wind coming and rain and
I didn't have to
snow.
scrape even a portion of my windshield off this morning. It was nice.
This is what they're saying.
That's what I call a nice day.
Yeah. So in February. But yeah, they that's what they're saying. So but take comfort, this weekend it's supposed to be like in the 60s.
Yeah.
But I know I did see last night that they said that, for us, the moisture is probably not going to be a whole lot of nothing here today.
Right.
But Sunday night, Monday, we're looking at 40-50% chances. So it looks like our real chance, while other parts of the state are getting moisture today.
Yeah.
They say for us here, it looks like Sunday and Monday will be better. Sunday night and Monday. So I think as soon as the Super Bowl festivities wrap up, everyone's going to be putting their umbrellas on and heading home, either happy or disappointed or completely hungover or drunk for the next morning.
You know you did it right if you wake up and you're still a little bit drunk from the night before.
Just don't get in the car. That's why everyone calls in sick the next day.
That's right.
Super Bowl, so.
There's a whole thing about how the Monday after the Super Bowl should be a federal holiday.
I wouldn't argue with that.
I agree. Yeah.
I would I would like them to move the Super Bowl to Saturday. That would be
much
my
better.
preference.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a day to recoup, and production does not have to falter.
Right. See, people who deal with the Super Bowl should study and learn from people who program wrestling pay-per-views.
You think
do them on a Saturday night so you have Sunday to recover?
Yeah. Do you think maybe like the government gets involved and says, don't do it on Sunday or do it on Saturday, because that means more people, because they think the logic is, well, some people will restrain themselves because it's Sunday. If it's Saturday, those people are gone.
I don't know.
Therefore we have more idiocy going on.
Maybe it's just because Sunday is a football day. That's why it's been. But yeah,
I can't imagine.
It would make much more sense to have the Super Bowl on a Saturday.
I figure they can make more money out of it.
Yeah.
And it's
the day that most people are programmed to party anyways.
Yeah. But then again, now, like you said, it's a Sunday tradition now. So maybe, because I know there's your purists that will never, it's supposed to be Sunday, Saturday, that's college football, whatever. But I'm like, I just don't want it to go to
Okay,
work.
fine, then give us Monday off. Then make it a 3-day weekend, and then we'll all be good.
Can you make that happen?
The purists get their way. The people who are a little bit hungover get our way.
Patrick Mahomes has magic. Maybe he can work his magic on there.
He's injured, right? He's got a messed up ankle or something.
But he's not playing.
Not playing,
yes.
Right. So I'm curious, is that going to affect? I mean, obviously they have backups, but
let's just say this: they kept saying the same thing last week, but here we sit. You know what I mean? Like they've been saying the last couple of weeks, his ankle's hurt. Is that going to hinder him? Yet they're going to the Super Bowl.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to say no.
Right.
That's just based on what I'm seeing here. Now, will it hurt against the Eagles, which allegedly are clearly a better team now than the other teams they faced in the playoffs? Mm-hmm. We'll see. That's why we play the game. So.
It's one of those. It's not necessarily your team is better. Your team was better that Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's like you guys lucked out.
Yep. Well, we got to keep it kind of short on this one because I'm let me give you the rundown. Mm-hmm. Due to backed by popular demand. No, I'm just going to give you. Actually, yes, I've had people. But Robin Scott joined us the other day here in the radio, and he brought his guitar case and had a great time with us. He's going to be performing with Jet Black out at the Liberty tomorrow night.
Yep.
Part of their third annual Blues and Oysters event. You can get tickets still right now, holdmyticket.com. Tickets will be available at the door if and only if they don't sell out. So please do not deny yourself. Get your tickets in advance.
Not holdmyoyster.com, holdmyticket.com.
That's right, yes.
You can hold your oysters tomorrow night.
That's right. Man, you can shuck and eat.
Oh, shucks.
But we're going to play that interview, and he's got a couple songs, but I need to get it going because he plays songs. It takes a little bit.
It was wow.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview. We had Joan Bouet. She's the president of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, reminding everybody, inviting everyone to come out to their next meeting 1 week from yesterday, next Wednesday. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have former city manager Joe Nebb join us. And he's going to be in town for a little bit, for about another week or so, but he wanted to check in and talk to everybody before he goes off to his next adventure.
Before he flies away.
Goes off to his next adventure.
He's just coming in to say goodbye.
And so he'll join us here and we'll chit-chat there. So, plus we'll have all of your other features that include the news of the local and national variety. We'll have your Wall Street business updates and whatever else we can come up with.
Your legislative update?
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly. A new one.
And I think that's all I got to say about that. All right, it is 7:12. All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at the weather where it's supposed to be bad today. Nice for a day, and then some more rain.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Little cold front moving through eastern New Mexico today, and that'll be causing gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. We should get sunshine, though. Our afternoon high in the upper 40s to low 50s. Overnight, clear and cold, upper teens to low 20s, and then we're in the low 50s with lots of sunshine coming up on Friday. For the upcoming weekend, 60s and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 31 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 67% with southwest winds at 3 miles per hour. So this is what they're saying, even though right at this second it doesn't look like any of that. But they're saying a 20% chance of rain and snow showers after 11 today. So it's supposed to, and it's not supposed to be this morning. It's supposed to be later today. Mostly sunny, high of only 49 today. Winds will be breezy out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour this morning, increasing 20 to 25. Could gust as high as 35 miles per hour later today. For tonight, we're looking at mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 20. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 48 for a high tomorrow. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 17. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Then warming up for the weekend, increasing clouds, but a high of 61 on Saturday. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, partly cloudy, 67 for a high. And then Super Bowl Sunday evening, 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, and a low of 35. 50% chance of rain Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 56. And then we're looking at a 40% chance of rain showers, then changing over to snow after 11 Monday night. And then gradually coming clear overnight. So that'll kind of wrap up. So we'll see as we get closer if that amounts to anything. And then we'll just roll on with the week back into the 60s and windy by midweek next week. All right, 7:14, we're going to pause for a quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with Robin Scott, who is performing at the Liberty Friday night, and he bought his guitar, and we had a good old time. So that interview up next. Don't go away.
Here is your chance to get the furniture you've been dreaming of. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and it's time for a sale. We are giving additional discounts on everything in the store. That new bedroom set you've had your heart set on, a dining table for new family members, even artwork to enhance your space. It's all here right now at discounted prices. Don't miss out on this rare sales event. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist, and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, it's been a while, but he's been on the show before. Musician Robin Scott back with us. How you doing, Robin?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, Mike. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me have this time to communicate to Roswell and the surrounding area.
I love when you get to come in studio because we always get treated to good tunes and good music, and well,
it's an acquired taste.
Well, I've known Robin for 20 years, I think, and I know he's an amazing musician, a good friend, and a great teacher too. When he's not doing his own music, he's teaching our youth.
I live probably 2 or 3 different lives.
Yeah.
The day person is Mr. Earwood.
That's right.
And then the night, it kind of turns into the night guy, which is Robin Scott.
That's right. He dons his Batman suit and takes to the streets of Roswell.
He takes to the streets and takes money from the day people.
There you go. But fortunately for you and everyone else, you can check out Robin here in just a few nights, February 10th. Robin is once again teamed up with Jet Black, and they're going to be doing a show for everybody at the Liberty. It's their 3rd annual Blues and Oysters event that's going to be happening February 10th. And if you love, it's kind of self-explanatory in the title there. If you're a fan of blues music, which Robin plays, you play just about anything, but you kind of center in the that blues and rock blues kind of,
acoustic blues kind of a thing. Yeah,
but you'll dabble in southern rock or even little
I like funk. Yeah, a lot.
You'll even bust out some Bon Jovi or Def Leppard every once in a while too.
Back in the day, Mike. Back in the day.
That's right. Back when it was more mullet than
more mullet pre-50s when I woke up and my voice was higher. But now that my voice is changing, then. You can actually believe the blues a little bit more the older and grayer you get. You believe what you're singing. You know?
And that's just it with look at blues, the genre of blues music. You look at the legends of blues music, and every single one of them, I think they're talented not just because they can play and sing, but because they live life. And you can play a song all day, but to write the song, you almost have to live life a little bit to write a good one.
You have to be around the block quite a few times.
So you're more seasoned now.
That's right. I'm a little more seasoned. That's a good way to put it.
But February 10th, it's going to be at the Liberty. Shows at 8 p.m. Doors open at 6.
Absolutely.
You can get tickets right now at holdmyticket.com. Right. Is that going to be available at the door thing, or is it strictly
everybody, whoever wants to go out there?
Okay.
If they say you have to be with a guest, just say you're with Robin Scott.
I'm his guest tonight.
I'm inviting all of the area. So
awesome.
The last few events, this is the third one.
Yeah.
So last year it was almost standing room only.
Good.
I mean, we sold a lot of tickets. It's been packed the last few years, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, and there's a reason for that. Robin's going to be a little modest here. It's because Robin's a talented musician, and when he's played at various locations around the Pecos Valley here and points outside of that, he's got a little following. So when Robin does come to Roswell to play, when he's not playing at all over parts of southeast New Mexico, it's kind of a treat. So
people out there in listening land they're not able to be in this room, but my head is growing like a Chinese balloon right now.
You put a lot of fun. You can tell because Robin's a passionate musician, and I'm not saying others aren't, because they are, but people that kind of live the music and breathe they're going to put more of them in the music, and it turns out to be better music usually. So
this one gentleman, after I played a show, he came up to me and said, "You are an artist's artist."
Ooh.
So
that's a compliment. What that usually means?
I took that. Yeah, I take I definitely has taken a long time to get to where I am.
That usually means you're broke, though, because usually it's what it is they'll ask people like James Brown and all that. He's like this biggest names in music,
right?
And they're like, "Who's your influence?" It's like Robin Scott. They're like, "Who's that guy?" It's like, I love him, but he can't. He didn't make James Brown money. I mean. A lot of
and those are the kind of people I follow. Those ones that are in the cracks. Things that are very obscure to me is very alluring to me, because I think that's better art.
Sure,
it doesn't have the commercial, influence, and there's so many hands in the cookie jar when you get to that level.
I get what you're saying. Because once, and this better than anybody, when you get to a point where someone's willing to give you money for your music,
right?
That always comes with strings. I don't care. If it's the biggest record label on the planet or somebody trying to make it big.
Absolutely.
When they put their money down representing you, there's going to be certain things that they expect with that money, and sometimes as an artist, you got to be willing to compromise that or not. And
absolutely.
And that's kind of where that when I get back to joking about the artist thing, it's generally speaking, you didn't hear these guys because they ultimately wouldn't make those compromises and things. So they're constantly in the indie, in the small world, as opposed to playing at a stadium or something.
So. Since we're on this, I would like to just throw this artist out there, because in my mind he's my biggest influencer in my whole life, and unfortunately he passed away this May 31st. He was 62 years old, but he's exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
He recorded most of his albums in his home by himself, and he would go out on the road for like 2 or 3 weeks and then come back home, wherever home was.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he was sleeping other places, but Kelly Joe Phelps is his name. So if,
and I think I've seen him with you a couple times at various shows and things. Doing stuff.
Not here. He's
not
from
here.
The
Okay.
upper Midwest.
Okay. There's another gentleman then that you.
This is just a guy that I followed, and the closest he played here was in 2013 after his last album that he created, and he tracked him. He had a friend track that one. It was his last album, but he played at the Rio Grande Zoo in Albuquerque. They used to do the summer concert series.
Oh, yeah.
And he did that, and then he developed like a ulnar nerve kind of condition in his hand, stopped touring, and then he just kind of fell off the earth, and he didn't want to. I think he was tired of it, of touring and the business, just that business part, that we're talking about.
But plus, if I'm assuming medically it was very difficult for him to play at some point.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, he said he came back from it, he was able to play, but he just got tired of just that business part of it. Touring, traveling, and all of that.
Sure, that's where the souls get sucked out of people, it's just kind of what it is. But so let me ask, because you and Jet you guys play together quite often, don't you? I mean, not only for people, but just like jam together and stuff, right?
We started early on with our friend Klaus and Yoel Alman from
Secret Circus. If
guys.
People know them by their fame.
And Jet was recording an album, and I was the guest artist on one of their albums, and we just kind of hung out and listened to each other play around a little campfire, and listening to stories and songs.
Sure.
And then we started playing some shows together. We would play the Brewfest, in Carlsbad early on when they started that, and some other events, around the area. And right now, Jet's kind of helping out with the Liberty.
Yeah, he kind of helps, helps with the acts and bringing them in and making sure they're taken care of when they're here and all that kind of stuff.
He's such a talented guy, and it's such a great place for him right now because he's making so many great connections. And we started this Oyster and Blues thing with just Josh, and we actually, the first one, we decided to do it like 2 weeks, in advance. It was like on a whim, and it was a great success. And so last year, then Jet came aboard, and we started playing that, and that was just one of the first shows the Liberty had after COVID.
Okay.
And so everybody was just ready
itching to come and hear some music and have a good time.
Something real, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I like the blues, because it's so just honest and real.
Sure.
And so they came, and it was just a great show. Probably one of the better shows I've ever played.
Nice.
Was that one. And so we're going to do it again this Friday, guys. So.
Good deal. So come on out for blues. And I'm assuming Josh is in charge of the oysters. And you and Jet are in charge of the blues.
They're flying them in that day. Fresh oysters.
Nice.
Eating in, Chihuahua Desert. Eating some fresh oysters just doesn't sound right. But when you get the blues going behind that, all of that, then it all comes together.
Doesn't have to make sense to be a good time, right?
Oysters don't make sense anyway.
That's right.
Oysters.
All you need now is a cult. I'm just kidding.
The blues, oysters, and cults. Yes.
Oh man, but yeah, come on out. If you are, and I'm sure Josh and everyone else would appreciate this, but if you can, go ahead and get your advance tickets here this week, and that way when you show up on Friday, you can just roll on in and start having a good time.
They're starting to sell. And this one is expected to sell. So.
And that's another thing too. We may not be able to get you in Friday night without a ticket. Just
right.
And I'd hate for you to come out and get ready for some blues and oysters, and all you can do is smell it and hear it from outside. So
that would be not a good thing for sure.
so go to holdmyticket.com. I think, and if you don't want to go through that gauntlet, if you go to Robin's Facebook page, I think the Liberty Inc. has a link.
Liberty Inc. is a great place to go. Yeah, you can go to Jet Black,
and then you just click the link direct, and then you can put in number tickets and your card information, and you're good to go. So and then you'll be ready for Friday.
Easy. Yep.
Yeah. But and of course we've interviewed Jet on the show too. He's been on a few times, and we've never had him play. We'll have to do that one time. Get both you guys playing.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
But yeah, Jet's a great guy. Now I'm curious: is his musical tastes? Are you guys simpatico there, or is it different with some similarities, or is it mirror image, or what's?
No, I mean we all come from different backgrounds.
Sure.
And he's definitely from a different place and age difference a little bit too.
I feel like he's got a little more rock.
And he started off really with he and Callie, his wife, doing folk
Oh, really?
things. Yeah, and just
I could see that too. Yeah.
Just seeing them progress and do what they're doing. They're both just so talented.
Sure.
Kelly's coming out with a online story kind of thing that she's doing, and so they each have their own projects, and then they get together and perform together as Gleewood. So he started folk, and then kind of the blues thing started happening because it was a little more accessible, I guess, to a lot of. There's a little larger audience base,
Gotcha.
in as far as like radio content and things like that.
Sure.
So he broke off and started doing that, and it's been great. you know.
I can see that. Well, I mean, in all fairness, both folk, blues, all of them are integral parts of what we call rock and roll today. But I would say influence-wise, I'm betting blues has a little bit heavier influence than folk would be to rock and roll. But they both are very, very much woven in that fabric.
Yeah, like my influence is completely different. I started, of course, with Van Halen and AC/DC and hair metal bands in the 80s.
Sure.
'Cause, growing up that. And then
That's what was cool when we were kids,
That's
man.
cool. And then when I was in college at Lubbock, that was when Steve Ray Vaughan died. And he passed away, and his next gig was actually in Lubbock.
Oh,
at
wow.
the fair, at that county fair. My friends had tickets to that.
That's crazy.
And so that hit Lubbock, the community, because he was going to be playing there next, and they were so excited to host him.
Well, and he's a legend. I mean,
legend, Texas legend. And then the radio station just started playing that just constantly, Steve Ray Vaughan. And then I graduated school, kind of went through the divorce kind of thing, and I was in a pretty bad place, and the blues found me. I didn't find the blues found me.
Gotcha.
And I just started really, really listening to it and pouring myself into it. And
that's when you hit that crossroads where he makes the deal with the devil and all that.
The deal was done. But it was kind of more electric, and now I'm just doing solo stuff, and now I'm finding joy in just like old 20s and 30s blues, where it started, actually.
I imagine that's... So would you consider yourself like a kind of a historian when it comes to music? I mean, do you love to go back and dig into archives and research origins of stories and things?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. Especially this dobro that I'm holding, and I know the audience can't see it.
It's a beautiful guitar. Well, the video folks can watch it.
It's a metal body guitar, and this was invented by the Dopiera brothers from Slovakia. They're Slovakian, and dobro, coincidentally, means good in Slovakian, and the brothers, of course, were Dopiera brothers, so they took the beginning of their name and brothers, dobro. And so a lot of people think that this is a dobro, but this is actually a resonator, and this is the first model they made in the 20s.
Oh, wow.
And it's a loud instrument because it was to compete with horns.
Is that thing insured? It sounds like it's valuable.
Like, what's that?
Is that thing insured? It sounds like it's pretty valuable.
Yes. Actually, I got a really good deal on this one. This is kind of a prototype, and we don't know. It doesn't even have a serial number. It came from Florida.
Oh, wow.
And so I etched my name on it, personalized it. But, it's kind of a beast of a thing to play.
Yeah.
For sure.
Really cool, though. I mean,
it has a different sound, completely different sound.
This looks like a guitar that you probably will hold the rest of your life and never get rid of unless, there is no amount of money in the planet that someone could throw at you that you take for it. So.
No, this thing is very special for me, for
Nice.
sure. Yeah.
Good deal.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to give time because I was looking, I was like, we've been about 15, but I don't want to, I want to give a chance to showcase the best part of this interview, and it's not me talking.
Play a tune or two, right?
Yeah. So, Robin, now the songs you brought, are these previews for Friday, or are these things you won't hear on Friday?
No, sure, I can play this.
I mean, you do you. I'll take whatever you got.
The thing about slide guitars, you have to tune it a certain way.
Okay.
So you just like, this is an open E. So I'm going to do a song by Jack Pearson.
Okay.
And Jack Pearson is kind of a living legend right now. He's one of the greatest guitar players in the world. He played with the Allman Brothers for a short bit, session player. But he wrote this song, and it's called Every Day.
Cool. Well, I will turn the floor to you, Robin. It's all yours.
Seems like it's always, the same old thing. Hanging on there like a ball and chain. Bill collector keep on knocking at my door. Made me kind of wonder what I'm working for every day. Said every day, life's getting harder every day. Hey. Take a chance and you're trying hard to win it. Yet just to find out that you lose it again. Read it in the paper and it's all on the fake news. The world got problems, everybody sings the blues every day. I said every day. Life's getting harder every day. Yeah, it is. Every day, yeah. I said every day. Life's getting harder life's getting harder life's getting harder every day. Every time I wake up and meet that New Mexico sun. Oh.
Nice. Very good, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, this is why I wish I could play guitar, but I just don't have the mental fortitude to do it. Patience, I don't know. How do you, like, you play so much. I mean, do you remember, I mean, at this point, do the songs just second nature to you? I mean, because I imagine singing and playing, that's two different functions.
I equate it to Steph Curry.
Okay.
Why is Steph Curry such a monster at that shot? You know? It's muscle memory. I mean, a lot of people think that crazy shot. Well, he makes those crazy shots all day, hours.
You're doing it thousands of them.
So it's hours. So it's called woodshed. So when you go into the woodshed as a guitar player, you're just practicing for hours and hours. And then you practice more and more until you're not thinking about it at all.
Gotcha.
And what I like now is I'm playing a lot of melodies on top of rhythm, so I'm doing a lot of like finger style.
It's very complicated,
old, complicated type of stuff. It's not your typical GCD kind of thing. It's a completely different type of style of playing that's based on old blues players like Sleepy John Estes, Mississippi John Hurt, Arl Burnside, all of these players.
So when you learn these kind of new techniques, so to speak, I mean, does it change? Like the mechanics of how you hit the strings and hold the guitar and
absolutely.
And I mean, like you pluck it a certain way, or you got to have. I mean, to me, that's where I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm like, and that's where maybe because I'm not trained enough to be like.
No, it gets pretty complicated sometimes because like I'm in an open E, and I play an open G too, and the phrasing is completely different. So the actual fretboard changes.
Okay.
From that. And so sometimes late at night, if I'm deep into a show, sweating down, and I'm like changing, I'm like, oh no, that was a G song, not a E or something. And I get myself either starting a song in the wrong key or something like that. But that's what's so wonderful about live music, because it's honest.
Sure. And then I get this is probably where you can have fun with like Jet when you're playing with other people, because the audience as a whole probably has no idea that you did something wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they'll know, and then you'll play with it, and then depending
sometimes
on them,
it turns into serendipity.
Exactly.
Man,
how many happy accidents come out of that?
Man. Most of it is. Most of it is. Yeah. And plus the angst, it's like and then you can like resolve it, however you want to, and so you turn it into something. It's fun.
Sure. I do. Before I get you into one more song here, I do want to ask when it comes to the songwriting side.
Okay.
Obviously, there's rules to writing songs, unwritten rule. I mean, for you, is there do you like say I got to follow the rules here, or do you know what I mean? Because as an artist, you make a song and you say, well, you want a song that's a hit, you got to have this with your solo and your, you know what I mean? And there's this like playbook or timeline you're supposed to follow to make this song that's going to be something that the masses want to have. Is that do you work in that world that way, or is it like, no, I'm here, and if I want to riff for 37 hours, I mean, because it's your world, I mean, do you write that way? It's like, where I'm just going to...
Well, yeah, the writing part of it actually is just, everybody does writing differently. I used to not really care about the words so much. I would just kind of the
melody and the riff.
The melody and the riff was, so if I got a good groove together, then I just lay things on. And as I'm getting older, I'm just dissecting life a lot differently, looking at things differently. So the words are starting to take meaning to me. And of course, being a songwriter, then it's turning that way.
Absolutely. And that's why I was kind of curious, where it was just, but like, it says, well, logic dictates I must do the stanza before this. And I'm like, no, it's my song. I can make it any way I want.
Yeah, I hate rules.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, especially when it comes to art.
Yeah, I just figure it's like, who says, I mean...
Yeah, rules are there to be broken, so...
Yeah, I mean, and there's a fine line. I mean, sure, you want to be creative, but at the same time, you don't want to be Bruce Springsteen doing a 47-minute concert where you're not even sure if he's still with you or not,
Absolutely.
So you got to juggle that, but, but that's the whole point of concerts, too, is... if you wanted to hear just the record, then you buy the record. You know what I mean?
That's right.
No, you want to go and meet the person and hear the stories behind the music and all the fun that, the love behind the song.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about, is seeing that live art on stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it's the greatest.
So come out Friday night. Come ready to have a good time. Bring a date, or come and meet one. Whatever you want to do, or come sit in the corner and eat oysters and listen quietly. Whatever you want to do. But we'd love to invite you to come on out. Doors will open at 6. The show will get underway about 8. So come on out, get you a good spot. Like you said, you can get tickets right now at holdmyticket.com. Tickets will be available at the door if they don't sell out. So just for your good advice, sage advice here, go ahead and get your tickets online in advance. That way, Friday night, you don't have to worry about it. You can roll on in and get you a good spot and get ready for the show here. So, all right, Robin, would you grace us with one more song, por favor?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I'm tuning this into a different tune, so tuning. This next song is a song I wrote kind of in with my friend, and it's about a fictional character that I picked up on the highway. And he was a Vietnam vet.
Okay.
And so when he grew up around this area, and he had dog tags of his friend, TJ Jackson, that grew up in Loving, New Mexico.
Okay.
And TJ used to tell stories about Black River and Higbee Hole, which is a water hole out around Carlsbad area, and passed away in the war. And he was on his way back, and picked him up on the side of the highway on a motorcycle. He just broke down, and it took him 50 years to take his friend's dog tags down to the water and kind of make peace to it.
He's put to bed that man's journey.
Yeah,
that's
it's the
awesome.
end of it. And so it's called Patchouli Joe because it makes my van smell like patchouli. So it goes something like this. Was on my way to Carlsbad, away there on the side of the road. Was a stranded biker who is now a hitchhiker, and his face looked like a horny toad. So I pulled off of the highway and asked him, buddy, do you need a ride? He answered, something to deliver to a place on Black River. He was gardening with his life. So I said, I can't leave you stranded, but it better hop on in, 'cause nothing's gonna stop me, 'cause my mama done taught me not to help you wouldn't be a sin. Just me and Patchouli Joe, yeah, strolling down this highway, got somewhere to go. I said, me and Patchouli Joe, we're gonna take our fishing poles, yeah. Head on to the fishing hole. Well, he said I wasn't from around here. I was born and raised in Tennessee. And at 18 years, I joined the U.S. Marines. Yeah, they shipped my ass overseas. So maybe by now you've noticed these dog tags in my hand. They belong to T.J. Jackson, who was killed in action in the jungles of Vietnam. You see, Thomas, he grew up in loving. Yeah, many stories he done told, like the one he was wishing. He's back home fishing in a place called the Higby Hole. Just me and Chili Joe. Yeah, strolling down these highways, got somewhere to go. I said me and Chili Joe, we're gonna take our fishing poles, yeah. Ooh, head on to the fishing hole.
Nice. What a cool song. I love that song.
Thank you, man.
That's great. So, like you said, this is a fictional guy, but what inspired? I mean, was there parts of a story you heard, or was there experiences you had that kind of, and then you kind of take the artistic license and say, take it where it is with that?
Yeah, so my friend's the one that kind of wrote the words to it.
Okay.
I have a friend in Carlsbad, and, Loving is just right south of there. Kind of grew up in that area. And he's a member of his family. I don't know if it's like his brother-in-law or something like that, but he owns a place in Texas called Patchouli Joe's Books and Tapes. And that's kind of where he got the name Patchouli Joe.
Okay. What's catchy?
And he just, doing something for our vets. Actually, it's kind of strange that we're playing the song today because he wrote me a text and he put it on Facebook, the lyrics to the song. And when he posted that, then he actually got some people from Loving to talk about the vets in that area. And this is one from Corey Guevara. He said, my brother Irvel Guevara killed in Vietnam in 1966. He spent many hot summer days with his friends swimming and fishing at Higby Hole.
Oh wow.
This is a beautiful thing.
So it's coming home for a lot of people.
It is. It's really
cool.
nice because it mentions a lot of the places around the area, and
love that.
Such a touching story.
Yeah, it's a work of fiction but it could be many people's story.
Inspired, but it's inspired by many stories.
Sure.
Yeah,
and to be honest, like you said, you got literally a someone who that was their story. I mean,
it was,
that's amazing.
That's where he grew up in Higby Hole. So he just posted this like a few days ago. And
How cool is that?
Yeah. So I thought I'd share that today because it kind of was on my mind. So.
Hopefully that song gets a little more run and we hear it and see it in more places around our area. I think,
I need to record that. That's going to be definitely on the next record.
Do you ever do some of that where you get like a whole band together and do like a full produce with drum kit and bass and like a whole 3 or 4 piece band doing some of you?
Sure.
Because I know every time I see it's just you and a guitarist, maybe a drummer of another person, but for the most part, you're a one-man band,
Well, as time permits, I need to definitely work on my content, but I'm a full-time teacher first.
Sure.
And so as I get older, then when I come home from work, man, those second graders just wear me out. So I'm tired and I don't feel like hitting the studio.
Trust me, wife. I've seen my wife coming home every day. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's a lot of work to set up microphones and just track things and everything. But I do have, if you go to my YouTube, it's The Robin Scott. You have to put in "the" in front of it because there's another Robin Scott artist.
Yes, but be warned. Don't just show up and plan on spending like a minute. You're going to want to hang out. Like you're going to go there and thinking you're just going to spend like 5 minutes at the dock. Next thing you know, like 3 hours later, you're still there messing around. So allow yourself a little time to do that.
Definitely.
Because you start seeing videos like, and then you hit that song and you hit that song. You go down a rabbit hole.
You educate yourself for that, though. That's the cool thing. But yeah, you can spend hours.
That's the fun part. Yeah.
That is the fun part.
Yeah. So just curious, like what's?
But I have. What I was going to say is I have funk songs on there too.
Yeah.
So I've got a funk. I'm working on a funk album with my cousin.
I was about to say,
and he's a bass player, so I do electric and working on that thing. But when I'm performing, this is kind of my passion. Is the
blues,
older anything old.
Gotcha.
People ask me all the time since I'm a musician. What do I listen to? I said anything old, man. And obscure,
Well, and then, I can appreciate technology. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we need it and live it by it and all that. But when it comes to music, the more technology, the less talent sometimes.
Yeah, well, now it's just recipes. We're just following recipes, and everything is like clear cut, but the soul is missing.
Yeah.
So when you listen, you can go back and listen to like records of like, chain gangs or things like that, or old gospel tunes from, some choirs, some old Baptist things. And it's so moving. It puts chills on me sometimes,
Well, and I might sound like an old fuddy-duddy here, but I kind of, you look at artists today and the music today, and sure, they're, selling out to millions of people and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, I feel like they got to earn their chops. And what I mean by that is going through the progression of learning music, learning your craft, learning, how the structure of a song is, learning the notes, learning all that stuff, and then use the technology to incorporate what you've learned. Right. Where nowadays you could literally walk in and iTune it up and hit a couple buttons and you're a musician all of a sudden. I'm like, that doesn't count.
That's not.
That's why
it's the path and not the end result.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, you need to understand, especially if you want to make a career out of it or make it a passion of yours. Yeah. You gotta know who came before you, man. You gotta know, where to blaze the trail. You gotta know who walked it before you.
Yeah. History is very important.
Absolutely. So I'm sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I love soapboxes, man. And you're talking my thing. This is exactly what I'm passionate about. Just try to educate people that, whatever things that are putting out in front of you right now, then it's like, throw that away. Just go find something that's very obscure.
Sure.
And I found a lot of things on YouTube. That's the nice thing about places like that.
Sure.
We have a library in our palm. So,
exactly. You can get inspired without, having to leave your bathroom. It's kind of neat. So, well, if you need inspiration, maybe come out Friday night.
Friday.
Enjoy Robin and Jed Allen here for Blues and Oysters. 6 p.m. the doors open. The concert will start about 8. So depending on how hungry you are, the closer to 6 you want to be.
Right.
And then enjoy the concert. Come on out. Get your tickets in advance. Save yourself some headache. Go to holdmyticket.com or go find Robin or the Liberty's Facebook page.
Yeah.
They've got a link right there. You click, it's a direct link. That way you don't have to go through the Hold My Ticket and then type in Roswell and the Liberty and all the other gauntlet you got to go through to get there. So
the Liberty Inc. is probably the best to go there. And
the Liberty Inc. So you got a direct link there too.
And even if you can't make it to this show, please go out and support what the Liberty is doing right now. And Josh, it's just incredible. As much talent that he's putting, and packing in. I think there was a commercial I was hearing that February is a short month, but the amount of acts that were that we're booking at like the Liberty is just enormous.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why I said
so many great players.
If you're looking to get tickets to the Robin Scott event, you might want to go to Robin's Facebook or the Liberty Inc. Because if you go to Liberty's Facebook, it's there, but there's like Robin just said, there's so much going on.
Yeah,
you got a lot of events to get through to get to his deal. So
that's true.
To save yourself a little bit of time, go to the direct there. Again, all about smarter, not harder.
That's right.
So, awesome. Well, Robin, I was good to talk about something else. Robin is always, I really do appreciate you coming in and coming out, hanging out with us, Robin.
Mike, you're always a joy.
And are we going to see you at our favorite fans' place on Sunday for a little football?
For a little football.
All right, good. I was hoping to see you there too.
Go Eagles!
I'm going to read Chiefs because I hate the Eagles, but
but Joe Burrow, I love Joe Burrow. Cool,
I was rooting for
Cincy. I think Joe Burrow is going to be an animal later on. He's going to be kind of like the next Tom Brady kind of guy. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But he smokes a cigar after every game. And I think at the last Chiefs game, they're like making fun of him, smoking cigars and saying some things. And, I didn't appreciate that so much. So, I don't know. I think the Eagles. I don't know.
Well, they're bitter, too, because he beat them last year, and now they got to come up.
I know.
So.
They're bitter. You're right. Rubbing it in their face.
But I was secretly hoping for a 49ers Cincy Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be that, too.
I completely blew that one. So
that's all right.
Good deal. But come out, see him Friday night, and then we'll talk football on Sunday.
Sounds great.
Thank you, Robin, as always. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Is coming up, the annual cleanup event scheduled for March 4th. Mayor Dale Janway says the focus of this year's cleanup will be along the Pecos River. You can pick up provided supplies starting at 7 a.m. at the Riverwalk Recreation Center. Members of the Eddy County Sheriff's Posse will be cooking lunch for all participants. If you need more information, you can call Keep Carlsbad Beautiful at 575-302-7665. A bill that would block storage of spent nuclear fuel at a proposed facility near Carlsbad has made it through a second legislative committee and is now headed to the U.S. Senate floor, despite support from local government officials from around southeast New Mexico. Holtec International applied for a federal license in 2017 to build the facility. It would act as an interim storage site for spent nuclear fuel rods that are brought to the area on rail cars from nuclear plants across the country. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cerullo reporting.
Round one of the AI chatbot wars was the most embarrassing and costly defeat for Google ever. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Since the arrival of ChatGPT, the human-like AI search engine, Google has been in full panic mode. The founders were called back from retirement. Everyone who hadn't yet been laid off was ordered to come up with Google's own AI chatbot. Like a child running with scissors, Google rushed into production a chatbot named Bard. They rushed Bard into a video ad. They rushed the ad onto the internet. They asked Bard a basic astronomy question. What new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope can I tell my 9-year-old about? Bard responded, the James Webb Telescope was used to take the very first pictures of a planet outside the Earth's solar system. And just like that, Bard got it wrong. Millions saw the ad. Google's stock price plunged $100 million. Be tech smart. Get my daily podcast called Kim Commando today. Whether you need it for work, school, or a special project, it's important to have the right printer. The Epson EcoTank is a new type of printer that does not use cartridges. Stop buying expensive ink cartridges and save yourself the frustration of replacing ink cartridges ever again. The Epson EcoTank printers have supersized, easy-to-fill ink tanks and come with a ridiculous amount of ink. If you're like me, you've tried rationing your printing to save yourself from replacing ink cartridges. With the Epson EcoTank, you don't have to worry about running out of ink. So start printing in color all you want. Kiss expensive cartridges goodbye already. Get yours today because EcoTank is changing the way people print. EcoTank makes it easy. Make the switch. Add EcoTank to your online shopping list so you can just fill and chill. Epson EcoTank printers available at participating retailers and at Epson.com/EcoTankKim. That's Epson.com/EcoTankKim. Epson.com/EcoTankKim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Little cold front moving through eastern New Mexico today, and that'll be causing gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. We should get sunshine, though, our afternoon high in the upper 40s to low 50s. Overnight, clear and cold, upper teens to low 20s, and then we're in the low 50s with lots of sunshine coming up on Friday. For the upcoming weekend, 60s and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Well, we've been talking a lot about basketball the last few weeks, and it may seem like that's the only thing going on, but this might be a good time to hit the reset button because there are other things happening. For instance, some things are about to culminate. Swimming and wrestling, and other things are already beginning in the form of practices. Let's start with swimming and diving. The state championships, will be next week in Albuquerque. It'll be at Albuquerque Academy Friday and Saturday. And as is traditional, state wrestling will be going on at the same time over at the Rio Rancho Events Center. Baseball and softball practice started back on January the 30th, and this past Monday, golf started for spring golf, and practice for track and field also started on Monday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street's main stock indexes slipped on Wednesday as comments from the Federal Reserve officials intensified worries over the central bank's rate hike path. Two Federal Reserve officials on Wednesday said more interest rate rises are in the cards as the U.S. Central Bank presses forward with its efforts to cool inflation, but declined to say whether unexpectedly hot jobs data would push them back to a more aggressive monetary policy stance. President Biden was in Wisconsin Wednesday, a battleground state he won by the slimmest of margins in 2020, to press his economic message and other themes from his State of the Union address. The president promoted his economic plan at a training center run by the Laborers International Union of North America near Madison, Wisconsin. Shoppers around the world will pay even more for groceries this year than they did in 2022. That's according to retailers, consumer goods firms, and investors. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
In New Mexico, the leading cause of death is heart disease, but it is preventable. This Heart Health Month, celebrate with Artesia General Hospital at a special presentation from the cardiology specialist at Advanced Heart and Vascular Center of New Mexico. They'll be joined by special guest Sherry Wells, Executive Director of the American Heart Association. Join us on Thursday, February 16th at 5:30 p.m. in the Green Chili Cafe. For more information, please visit Artesia General Hospital's Facebook page. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 7:58. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to play our interview we had with Joan Bouet. She's the president of the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women. She joined us yesterday to invite everyone to their next meeting, which is next Wednesday. At 11:30 at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. So we'll play that interview for you next hour. Hey, like to invite you to help our Roswell and Goddard High Band Boosters this Saturday. The Goddard High Band Boosters are going to be at Applebee's on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. doing their pancake fundraiser, $10 for breakfast there with pancakes and I think the eggs, bacon, the trimmings and all that. And all the proceeds go to help the Goddard High Band Boosters. That's this Saturday. Show up or go to the Goddard High Band Boosters Facebook to RSVP. But come out between 8 and 10 and have breakfast at Applebee's and support the Goddard Band Boosters. Then that night, the Roswell High Band Boosters are doing their Noodles and Notes event. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. in the Roswell High Commons area. Tickets are $20 for single or couple, $35. And spaghetti dinner and a little bit of entertainment with music and everything else. RSVP by going to the Roswell High Band Boosters Facebook page and get tickets and come out and support both this Saturday night.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. 19,000 and counting, the death toll from the earthquake and the aftershocks that have devastated parts of Turkey and Syria. The BBC's Anna Foster is in the region. It was the epicenter of the quake.
People I've just been talking to say that they have real concerns about the children who are now sleeping outside. They say that the children are starting to get high temperatures. And of course, there are no pharmacies open at the moment. There's nowhere to get medicine or the kind of medical help that they need because, of course, medics are helping the wounded, the people with crush injuries from the earthquake.
Rescuers are racing the clock to pull survivors from the rubble, although hopes of finding more people alive are fading. Quoting Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, there's a new sheriff in town. The Republican governor making the remark as he vows to strip Disney of its special status as a self-governing entity. The woke corporation will also have to, in governor's words, pay their fair share of taxes. Continuing his post-State of the Union blitz, President Biden goes to Florida today.
After visiting Wisconsin yesterday, the president heads to Tampa to discuss proposals to safeguard Social Security and Medicare and lower the cost of health care. It's part of his administration's plan to take the State of the Union message across the country. Florida also happens to be the home of two Republican presidential hopefuls, Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The number of people applying for unemployment rose 13,000 last week from the week before, hitting 196,000, although layoffs do remain historically low, despite the Fed's interest rate hikes aimed at slowing the economy to fight inflation. Legendary composer Burt Bacharach has died. He was 94 years old. Stocks higher on Wall Street. The Dow up 225 points. The Nasdaq ahead 112. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Stock market traders, the new year is here, and it's time to stop taking chances with your portfolio or retirement funds. Take control of your trading and dominate volatility with the power of artificial intelligence technology from Vantage Point. Text the word demo to 813-813 to learn more. You can discover how to predict stock market trends up to 3 days ahead with incredible accuracy. Whether you trade stocks, options, forex, or futures, Vantage Point's patented AI can give you a massive edge in 2023. Text DEMO to 813-813 and learn what you need to stay ahead of markets and find big moves before they happen. Don't wait. Text DEMO to 813-813. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text DEMO to 813-813.
Big bucks pouring into primary care clinics as healthcare giants look for ways to cut costs by keeping people healthy.
CVS Health has announced it will spend nearly $11 billion to buy Oak Street Health, a company that runs care centers for mostly lower to middle income people with Medicare Advantage plans. 3 months ago, Walgreens announced a $9 billion investment in Village MD's acquisition of Summit Health City MD, an urgent and primary care chain. CVS CEO Karen Lynch says she sees primary care as a key to improving patient health. She says although primary care represents only about 10% of healthcare spending nationally, it holds what she calls significant influence over healthcare use. I'm Mike Hempen.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope your Thursday's going well. Burt
Bacharach died.
Yeah, 94.
That's well. I mean, it's a full life.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Burt Bacharach. Oh, 94.
I think that.
I'd be honest. Didn't know he's still. I thought he already passed. I
me
thought
too.
he did
Me too. The only thing I know about Burt Bacharach is the song that was featured in
Austin Powers.
That's pretty much it.
And now the stylings of Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach.
Yeah, your parents like it.
There was a weird moment where like I was super into Perry Como.
Yeah?
And it was right after the movie, watching the movie Blast from the Past.
Oh,
because he was featured in that movie. So I'm like, find a ring and around, round, round as it drifts along with the happy sound. It's catchy music.
So you shouldn't watch, rightly so, Name That Tune.
Yeah.
Because I think they had a little block of it on here the last couple weeks. I don't think it's on. I think last night was the last one of those because they had who was in
Is
the
there a new Name That Tune?
Yeah, with celebrities.
Who's hosting it?
It's I can't remember the actress's name, but she was on 30 Rock. She does those orange juice commercials.
Okay. Oh, is it
I can't remember her name.
I know who you're talking about.
And Randy Jackson.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I like it. It's funny to me. I enjoy it.
What's her name? What is her damn name?
I don't know. She was on 30 Rock.
I do know.
She's a comedic actress.
Can't think of it offhand.
She kind of plays that ditzy blonde role character in a lot of roles. I can't remember her name.
That's driving me nuts. Because I know the actress. I can't. I just can't.
I've seen her face a million times. I just don't know her actual name. But anyway, yeah, she's the host. And then Randy Jackson is on piano. And then they've got a full band to play the music. And so Randy is like your co-host. He's the cheerleader for like these people. Like she'll go to him and say, "All right, Randy, give him some words." Jane Krakowski, thank you. Yeah. Jane Krakowski goes to Randy and says, give him some words of encouragement. And he's like, dog, you got this. You did all that.
It's not going to work for me, dog. Well, it's funny that like genre of game show has been a thing for forever, because not only was there Name That Tune, but then for a while Beat Shazam was a big thing.
Yeah, well, Name That Tune was back in the 80s, 70s when it came out.
Yeah.
I remember watching as a kid. And but like 3 years ago, they brought this show version of it. It's been going on for about 3 years. They had I think it originally came out with just normal non-celebrity guests.
Right.
And I'm guessing that didn't move the needle enough. But they're like, we don't want to. So the last couple seasons I've been watching it, it's been celebrities. So I know most of them. Some of them, like, I don't know. But, I can tell how well I'm going to do based on who the celebrities are.
Really?
Yeah, because if it's younger celebrities, I don't know any of that music. It's like the music they start playing, I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. But if it's like celebrities that are a little older, I'm usually like, okay, I can name some of these songs. And so,
I can hold my own for the most part. The only problem is and this is mostly just career-based. I'm in country music as far as like my, genre of career. Like 85% of country songs start and end exactly the same way.
Yeah, right.
Like half the time I can listen to a brand new country song I never heard before and know exactly the note pattern it's going to end with.
Well, that's why you never hear any of those on Name That Tune.
Right.
Mostly it's songs, but it's not all radio hit songs. Like once in a while they'll throw in like the theme song to Scooby-Doo or, a theme song of a TV show of some kind. So it's not always... radio play songs and things.
Do you know
like
what
that.
show I was super into, and I can't remember the name of it or the host, but the host was the big girl from the show Reba. Do you remember Reba?
Yeah, which Reba?
Like Reba McEntire.
I know,
but the sitcom. I'm a survivor.
She was like in 3 sitcoms around that time. They're all like
well,
called
specifically
Reba.
the one called Reba.
Okay, the one where she's divorced and her divorced husband is behind him or something.
Yeah, her husband is the one that her husband's married to.
But there was another one, but I don't remember what that show was called.
Well, she was the host of this game show, but the point of the game show was you had to know every lyric to all the songs.
And you know that girl?
Yeah.
She was on Name That Tune last night as a contestant.
Was she really?
Yeah, her and Michael. Was it her? Was she going against Michael Ian Black? Or was she going against Andy Richter?
Michael Ian Black is funny to me because he's famous for he's been in like one episode of Queer as Folk, and then the rest of his career has been as a talking head of all these and
in actuality, I know Michael Ian Black from The Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, he was.
That's
he was
where
in Kids in the Hall.
I learned of him, and he was part of that ensemble cast. So He was. I think he was part of the Barry and Levon bits that not Kids in the Hall, the State.
The State. Yeah,
that's
it was
the one
State.
he was on, the State. And he did the Barry and Levon bits with
Melissa Peterman,
Officer Dangle. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one who was the wife of the ex-husband.
wife of the ex-husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also in Young Sheldon right now. She's on a bunch of stuff. She was also in Last Man Standing. She had a few episodes of that she was in. She'd been in a bunch of stuff. But she was also a contestant on Name That Tune last night. So
neat.
What? He's just reading.
No, I was saying neat to what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find the game show that she hosted back in the day. I can't.
Oh, I don't know.
Seem
I'm
to
not
track it
sure.
down because apparently now she hosts another game show called Person, Place, or Thing.
Man, I missed that show too.
Yeah,
Are these all like Game Show Network shows or something? Or
This says a modern take on the age-old game of 20 questions intersperses comedy with common knowledge. Host People's Choice Award winner Melissa Peterman, streaming on Roku. Person, Place, or Thing, a game show series, is available to stream now. Watch it on Tubi or Roku.
These shows that they just stream only, I generally don't catch unless it's like.
It's not what I meant though. I was looking for the other game show she hosted.
All right, well, while you're looking that up, I will
give me the
I'll do the rundown
There you
here. Here in just a bit, we'll get you up to date with the weather. And then
The Singing Bee.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
It was called The Singing
I never
Bee.
watched it, but I seem to remember
I watched
a commercial.
that show religiously. Like they would put like 3-hour-long blocks on
Didn't
TV.
Fox show it?
It was I want to say like CW or My TV.
I remember commercials for
one of
it.
those off networks.
I remember commercials for it. That was all I remember ever seeing.
I was going to lose sleep over that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the commercial when you said The Singing Bee. It kind of reminds me. But anyway, back to the rundown.
Yes.
After the weather here, we'll take a little break, and then we're going to play our interview. We had yesterday Joan Bouet. She's the president of the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women. She joined us, gave us an update, talked about what they've got going on, and of course invited everyone out to their next monthly meeting, which will be 1 week from yesterday, next Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. at the Roswell Convention Civic Center. So stay tuned. She'll talk about the guest and all they're going to be talking about, the lunch.
Yes.
That's the favorite part, talking about foods. We talk all about food because it's food. We talk about it, but so we're gonna play that interview for you here in a little bit. Then later on, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. So I mentioned earlier in the last hour that Roswell High and Goddard High have their Band Booster events this weekend.
yes.
Saturday morning, they're going to be at Applebee's with the Goddard High Band Boosters from 8 to 10. $10, you can go in there and have pancakes, and I believe they're doing eggs and bacon and all that with it.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds go towards
full bricky
the Goddard High Band Boosters. Then Saturday night, the Roswell High Band Boosters will be doing their Noodles and Notes event. That's going to be 6:30 p.m. Saturday night at the Roswell Commons area.
Spaggy.
If you want to go and find a date, it's $20. If you got a date already, bring them along, pay $35. You can get tickets, which I recommend you do in advance. Hopefully there's still some left. Go to the Roswell RHS Band Boosters Facebook page.
Okay.
And there's a link there. You can reach out and say, hey, I want to eat spaghetti and listen to you guys play on Saturday night. Come on down.
This is it.
And again, all the proceeds from that event support the Roswell High Band Boosters. But then don't party too much on Saturday.
That's right.
Because next Saturday, the 28th annual Mardi Gras Gala, dinner and dance benefiting All Saints Catholic School will be taking place. That'll be February the 18th, 6:30 to 11 p.m. at St. Peter Catholic Church. Of course, Cajun and American cuisine catered by Pepper's Grill and Bar. The music, DJ Louis Nahar will be on the ones and twos to get you that going. And then Ed and Kathy Cook will be there as they do, taking photos and giving you all keepsakes of the night. Don't forget, sponsorships are available, platinum, gold, and silver table sponsorships. And the night does also include a silent auction, door prizes, of course, the King and Queen contest, and the Piece de la Resistance, the King Cake.
Yes.
Where you hope to get a baby.
Did you get the baby?
Did you get the
It's
baby?
I'm sorry. I understand that it's like tradition
Sure.
and like a thing. It is such a weird concept. Did you get the piece of cake with the baby inside?
Ask the Creole and Cajun. That's their tradition. I'm sure it's very beautiful once you learn it. I just don't know what it is. So ask them. They'll tell you. But tickets are 20. Or it's a 21 and over event. Tickets are $60 per person. For tickets and information, you can call 627-575-627-5744. Or go to All Saints Catholic School Facebook page, and you'll find it there too. But
it feels late. Like I don't know. I heard people talking about celebrating Mardi Gras like a week ago, and it's the 21st. I just looked it up. It's the 21st of this year or February. So that feels late to me. Like usually Mardi Gras, I feel like happens earlier in the month.
It's because the groundhog saw its shadow.
That's it. That's what it was. Damn you, Punxsutawney Phil. Messing with our good time.
That's going to be my new excuse for everything that seems different. Punxsutawney Phil.
It's Punxsutawney Phil.
I'm just going to blame everybody.
That prognosticator.
Everything on Punxsutawney Phil. seems logical to me.
Totally. That works.
So that's what we're going to do. I'm trying to think. There's something else I was going to mention. It just slipped right out of my head here, but I don't know.
It happens.
It happens. It does happen. Happens quite a bit. There was like just earlier, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old and senile. Maybe dementia's stepping in already.
Dude, I'm kind of depressed. I came across a story earlier. There's an app website called 11 Labs. Basically, you take 2 minutes of recording of a recorded voice, and you upload it into this app, and it can then generate an AI of your voice, of anyone's voice. So you can make this thing say whatever you want. I'm pretty sure we're not going to have a job in 5 years. It's really depressing that AI is basically like working. The only reason we're going to have a job is because we work in small town radio.
Right.
Because we're under the radar, so far under the radar that we're going to still be able, like, they're going to keep paying us.
Someone's still got to push a button.
Right. I was told early in my career, it's like no matter how good robots get, they can't ever be creative. They can't ever have personality. They can't ever take your job. I'm starting to think they can.
Oh yeah, I told you.
It's terrifying. Well, did you hear about this Seinfeld thing?
I guess not.
Okay, so there's an AI called Nothing Forever, and it's basically it's an AI that's generating episodes of Seinfeld, like animated episodes of Seinfeld, but it's generating them based on an AI script and an AI that's animating like how humans walk, how they talk, how they interact, laugh track, the whole thing. And basically, it's been running 24/7 for a month now. People have been watching it, and like, and it's been getting better and better. Like it's learning as it goes, like how humans walk, how they talk. At first, it was real, like they were like moving their arms like this when they walked. Now they're like walking like they normally walk. But it got shut down because apparently it dropped some transphobic jokes.
Oh, did it?
Like Jerry's monologue or whatever, he was dropping transphobic jokes. It's
Someone Me Too'd the computer?
Basically, it's like Tay from back in the day. If there's going to be an AI that learns from the internet, eventually it's going to learn how to be homophobic.
Oh, yeah.
And transphobic and all these things.
If it spends any time on Twitter, it'll be a hot mess.
A
by
Nazi,
the end of that.
all these things. So it's like, it's terrifying, though, how quickly and how good AI is getting. And it's getting there because we're playing with it so much. We're interacting with it, and it's learning from our interactions. And that's terrifying to me.
We're all doomed.
Yeah, we're all doomed. Exactly. It's exactly it. It's from a perspective of this is literally all I have, my career. This is all I have. I'm like, I'm screwed.
Good news is, like I said, I think we're old enough, you and I, we'll be fine. It's our kids that might be like, all right, you got to worry about it.
Eventually, yeah, exactly. And I've unleashed another generation into this world. That's terrifying.
You got a job, but your kids, But I also think, too, that, sure, we're also in this world, and we're but I feel like there's going to be a counter to this. Something that will keep it in check.
The apocalypse.
Well, maybe, but I don't know. I understand what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, but also I've lived 50 years on this earth of people telling me the world's going to end tomorrow all my life. It's going to be acid rain. It's going to be killer bees. It's going to be killer bats.
Well, okay,
it's going to be
all of those things. And all of those things are their own entity. Yeah. AI and robotics, this is something that we're creating to destroy ourselves.
Sure.
Like I've
like
been
nuclear bombs.
I've studied the singularity for years, and that the singularity, for those who know, is that one crystallizing moment where AI realizes it's smarter than us. It doesn't need us anymore, and that's when there's no going back. It's like we're getting closer and closer to that every single day.
Well, as long as we control the power, then we'll be all right.
How long? I watched iRobot. How long will we control the power?
I don't know, but.
Plus, I've seen what Boston Dynamics is doing with robots. It's like if the AI that we're training teams up with Boston Dynamics robots, I don't think there's anybody that maybe The Rock. Maybe The Rock is like our one savior. Dwayne Johnson, please save us all from the robots.
The money will fix it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying some havoc won't be had.
Yeah,
but I will say that
the money comes from evil entities, and that's what worries me. It's like, well, the people with the money are the people who want the power.
Sure, but there's also someone else spewing this doom and gloom because they have an agenda too.
Sure.
And that's all I'm saying is before you start yelling the sky is falling, just realize it may not be as bad as they say, nor is it as good as they say.
I'm just saying, I, for one, welcome our robot overlords, and I hope that they are a benevolent breed.
All right. I'm still wittier than any stupid robot. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, for a minute. It's like we got our moment. For a moment.
That's right. They don't know. I'm goofy.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like showering myself in this doom and gloom nonsense. But it feels like it's happening faster than any of us planned on it happening.
Yeah, but you can't dump water on me and die. They can.
That's
water,
true.
Die. Barbecue sauce. They don't know. I'm diabolical.
How'd you take out that race of robots? Sweet baby Rays.
French's mustard.
Turns out enough of it shuts their motherboards down.
Exactly. I got him. I got Szechuan sauce.
I guess I didn't.
McDonald's.
I guess I didn't factor water. As long as we've got water, it's our one savior.
It'll start raining, y'all in trouble.
Honestly, this whole time I didn't think about water. Turns out, same thing it's going to take out the robot overlords. The same thing it took out the Wicked Witch of the West.
I mean, that's what people don't get. You know, how many empires were destroyed over a microorganism? Just saying. It's always something.
How did I not take water into the equation?
Always something that'll get it. Just saying.
Okay, so my mind is at ease now. Thanks, water. Giver of life to humans, taker of life from robots.
There you go. All right, we probably should get our interview going. Now we solved that problem. It is 8:24. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Little cold front moving through eastern New Mexico today, and that'll be causing gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. We should get sunshine, though, our afternoon high in the upper 40s to low 50s. Overnight, clear and cold, upper teens to low 20s, and then we're in the low 50s with lots of sunshine coming up on Friday. For the upcoming weekend, 60s and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 38 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 55% with winds out of the north at 6 miles per hour. We do have a 20% chance of some moisture in the form of, they say snow showers after 11. I don't feel that's right. Man, my phone's blowing up. Good Lord. We are looking at it mixing with rain after 2. Mostly sunny, high of 49. Winds will be breezy out of the north, 15 to 20, increase in 20 to 25. Could see wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. I just don't understand how the snow part. It's already 38. If we get moisture, I'm guessing it's rain. But I don't know. What do I know? Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 20. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10. Partly cloudy for Friday, a high of 48. Northwest winds 5 miles per hour. Then for the weekend, increasing clouds, but a high of 61 on Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and a high of 67. And then our real rain chances look like Sunday night and into Monday. They're talking a 40% for Sunday night, 50% chance for Monday, and then even Monday night, a 40% chance of showers. So we'll see. All right, it is 8:26. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Joan Bouet from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Listen, you want a pizza? You can get one of those anywhere. But if you want authentic, traditional, brick oven style pizza, forget about it. There's only one place in town, our Pizza Center in Roswell. I'm talking about authentic pies using authentic ingredients. Plus, pasta, salads, wings, subs, burgers, and a whole menu chock full of your favorites. You can dine in or have it delivered up to 5 miles. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 505 North Main in Roswell. Or check out RoswellPizzaCenter.com. And hey, mention you heard it on the radio and buy one pizza, get one free. Our Pizza Center, a taste of the old world, right here.
Roswell Skin Center is here to provide comprehensive skin care to southeastern New Mexico in a friendly and warm environment. Dr. Cometti and his team continue to offer a full scope of medical and cosmetic dermatology services, from treating skin cancer to helping you look your best. Roswell Skin Center is proud to introduce Anna Ingalls, licensed esthetician who specializes in cosmetic treatments, including laser rejuvenation, hair removal, facials, chemical peels, and more. Anna is accepting new patients, and when you schedule your first treatment, you can receive $50 off and begin earning valuable discounts to be enjoyed throughout the year. Schedule with Anna by calling 575-208-2509, and for more info on our services and rewards, go to roswellskin.com.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space, because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, President Joan Bouet back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you today?
I am excellent, thank you.
Very good.
Busy day, but glad to be here.
Well, I notice your eyes aren't too bleary, so you must have not fell asleep too long during the State of the Union last night.
we had company last night, Mike.
Did you have a viewing party?
No.
Okay. I know some people like to play drinking games during things like this. And
no.
I got a feeling those people are very hungover this morning.
You're probably right.
Absolutely. But for folks not familiar, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, I'm part of it. You can kind of figure out they support and help folks in the Republican Party in the state of New Mexico here locally, work with candidates, things like that. But when they're not doing election stuff, they're in Santa Fe talking to our legislators and raising awareness on certain bills and things that are coming to pass right now. But the other side too is education and educating the public on things, how the sausage is made, but also working as a service group too, working with our nonprofits and things, and helping people in the community that have nothing to do with politics.
You're absolutely right, Mike. As a matter of fact, 5 of the Chaves County Republican women went up to Santa Fe on Friday. The New Mexico Federation of Republican Women had their winter meeting.
Okay.
And 17 clubs from around the state were involved. We did have a legislative reception for our Republican legislators on Friday evening. So we got to talk with them, take pictures with them, and see that they're being pretty beaten up, Mike.
Sure, I imagine that.
Yes.
Well, I know we're blessed to have folks like Greg Nybert and Candy Spence-Ezell, and of course we all know Representative Greg Nybert recently got a few more things added to his to-do list here. Congratulations to him as the minority whip here, but we've been talking with them for years. They've been fighting, and they fight a losing battle every year where they're kind of that. I feel like they're almost they're that line in the sand that they have to hold every time just to keep, something at bay sometimes. So it'd be nice to give them a little help, but in the meantime, they do great work, trying to, hold people accountable and do the things that this legislature is supposed to do and keep them on task for that. So.
Well, we are praying for them, obviously, that they stay strong and stick to our conservative beliefs. And they are all doing a phenomenal job for us. We're very proud of them.
Yeah. If you do, by the way, go to Santa Fe for any reason, various things, and you'd like to check in, obviously go through the proper protocols, make appointments or, reach out. But they do love visits and things from folks, especially, when they get, end of month 1 and getting into month 2 of being up there in Santa Fe. They kind of crave. Sometimes they get to go home for a little bit, but for the most part, they're stuck in Santa Fe for 2 months.
They are stuck in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they didn't even get out of meetings like till 7:30, 8 o'clock on Friday night.
Yeah.
They were in meetings all day.
So if you happen to be there and want to bring a little piece of home, they love that kind of stuff, and it kind of recharges the batteries and stuff. I've talked to Greg specifically, and he says he does look forward to when he gets things like that from constituents and stuff. So.
You're right. We actually try to email them, text them, tell them to stay strong.
Yeah.
That we're thinking about them.
Yep, they need to. Well, they got to lean on us to help fight too. We're leaning on them to do the right thing for New Mexico and for us, but they're leaning on us for support and strength and ammo.
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. But what we'd like to do is invite everyone out to the next Chaves County Federated Republican meeting. They always meet the third Wednesday of every month for lunchtime at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. And so next Wednesday, 1 week from today, just so happens to be the third Wednesday of the month. I know it's kind of weird because the Tuesdays and everything line up a little weird this month, but next Wednesday will be our third Wednesday, and so we would love to have everyone come on out. We're talking, you get to meet some of the representatives from New Mexico that'll be serving on the national RNC board, right? Is that?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Mike, our guest speaker is Tina Zook.
Okay.
And Tina is our Republican National Committee woman from the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
She will basically be talking about what are her responsibilities to the Republican National Committee.
Okay.
And how she helps New Mexico. That will be the topic of her conversation.
Her job is to get our voices to the Republican Party nationally from here in New Mexico. When they're at the meetings and they're, deciding what the agenda, what they want to champion, she's the one telling them, hey, don't forget about our stuff here in New Mexico.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Would you like to know our menu?
I would. I'm a food connoisseur, so come for the or come for the food, stay for the information. But use the food to all right. I can sit an hour and enjoy some delicious food.
You're right. Let me tell you, this month we're having a Mexican buffet.
Okay, you can't go wrong with that here.
Beef enchiladas, chili rellenos, Spanish rice, refried beans, tortillas, a salad, brownies, and of course iced tea and water.
Nice. So
and that's a $16 fee.
Nice. And that'll get, of course, you get a full lunch here. They do ask that you RSVP to help them so they have no account numbers and everything. You can do so if you're a Facebook user. Just look for Chaves County Federated Republic of Women. I encourage you to like and follow it, but then you'll find a link there to RSVP for the meeting every month, including the one for next week. If you see any Chaves County Federated Republican woman, they can get you set up too. If you happen to know any at work or some of your social clubs and things, they'll be happy to get you invited and set up too. And of course, you can come for lunch and pay for lunch. But if you're not hungry, you just want to come for the meeting, you're more than welcome to do that. You don't have to pay for a full lunch unless you just want to.
Absolutely, we certainly welcome everybody to come and join us and listen to our guest speaker.
Yeah, some of us are on diets, and I know you haven't broke your resolution yet, so I get it.
Mike, I'd like to also mention that this month, which is Valentine's Day, we will be delivering goodies to the Assurance Home.
Oh, cool.
We've been doing that for 12 years. This month, they will be getting handmade Valentine cards.
Oh, nice.
Ice cream and beautiful cupcakes.
So a little celebration for the Assurance Home kids and things. And for folks that aren't familiar, the Assurance Home is an amazing group facility. I always joke, it's not a joke, but I joke that it's literally an oasis in Roswell because you go there and even forget all of the great work they do with the kids and all that. Just going to that place, it's like you're walking in another world. It's like the trees and it's we live in a brown part of the country. We just do. And you go there and you're like, it's kind of feels like a East Coast, garden kind of
almost
atmosphere.
a resort.
Yeah. But they do. They really help these kids that are really having issues, difficulties and things, and really working with them and getting them to a point where they're solidifying their foundation and providing these kids with a place to go afterwards, with skills, so if they want to pursue college or pursue a career or whatever, these kids will have the tools to do that. And they do an amazing job of helping these kids. And they do it through all these different confidence boosting and it takes them out of their comfort zone doing these cool things. And then when they achieve it, they get confidence, they get success, and next thing you know, they're tackling the world. So it's a great organization. They
actually 12 to 18-year-olds, and these are homeless and at-risk youth, and we celebrate them at Christmas time, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, and the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So we are very involved with them.
We need more holidays so you can get other days to help them.
Thank you, Mike.
But that is it's a great organization, and by the way, if you're looking to get involved, and I don't know what their volunteer status is, but if you're looking at a place to make a difference and not sure where to go, that's a good place to take a look.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Mike. Yes.
Good deal. So this Valentine, by supporting the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, coming out and being a part of the events and becoming a member, if you'd like to, you're also supporting great entities like the Assurance Home. So
absolutely, yes.
Good deal. Good deal.
Thank you.
Excellent. So is that going to be on Valentine's Day? Are you going to surprise them
We
with
are
the...
actually going in the morning on Valentine's Day so that they can have these treats when they have dinner that evening.
Nice. Well, hopefully it's a nice day weather-wise.
Absolutely.
It's,
yes.
Very good. Speaking of getting involved, like we said, come out next Wednesday and you can talk to any of the members and they'll be happy to tell more about it. But always looking for new members. And by the way, fellas, you do not have to be a woman to be a member of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. There are it's kind of like an auxiliary or a men's chapter that also works as part of it. Works in concert with the Federated Republican Women, but men are needed too. So if you like to get involved, come with your wife or come on down and just learn about what you can do to get involved.
These are our associate members, and we certainly welcome them. We have a lot of men that attend our meetings,
Good.
So we're very pleased with that, Mike.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear it because I know some people, guys will look for excuse because they'll think if it sounds like a baby shower, they're out, and it's like, oh, that's a woman thing, I'm out. So we're just trying to say, it's okay. Come and eat enchiladas, come and eat a relleno, and come listen and hear about what's going on in the Republican Party.
Please, absolutely. Welcome. We welcome them.
And you know what? I would even offer this. If you're wanting to step up, make a difference, maybe you're thinking, you know what? Next election cycle, I think I'd like to start running for office and things. Maybe maybe shoot for a local office before maybe not start right a governor or something, but if you're thinking maybe I could be a city councilor, maybe I can be a county commissioner, something like that. Start coming to the meetings, start talking to people, start kind of figuring out that process and getting and learning about the ins and outs of getting that kind of and meeting the people and stuff like that. That's making connections. That's just as important as you guys educating and telling them what's going on, but making those connections and meeting people and from that spawning other great things in our community. So there's a lot of ancillary stuff that's part of these meetings too. It's not just the subject matter that with your guest speaker and everything.
As a matter of fact, I met with Eric Call, who is our Republican County Chairman, and we are going to work very closely together with them. This is our planning year. 2024 is our election year.
Okay.
We have a lot of planning to do. We're going to work together. We're going to make this. We're going to keep Chaves County red.
We can all talk about your opinions on the redistricting and stuff, but we got a wrench in the works on that one. And I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to take a while to fix this one. You know what I mean? And we've got our work cut out for us. And it starts at this level. Starts right coming to these meetings and being a part of it. That's how you make a difference. And if you're not happy with what you've been seeing the last year in this state, and you're just sitting there on Facebook and not doing, yelling at people about it, do more. Get involved. Come out to the meeting next week. Get your sleeves wrapped up or rolled into up and getting into something. Maybe find a candidate that you really believe in and support them hard. Get them get involved in campaigning for them, helping them out, signs, things like that. Again, when we get to that part here, we're not quite there right now, but when we are here in about a year from now, Republican women, Chaves County Federated Republican Women are a source to help you and get you connected to all those things. So.
Actually, it is our mission to always inform and educate the Republican voters here in Chaves County. And I think we have done a good job in doing so, Mike. It takes a lot of work, but there is a good payoff.
Mm-hmm. And just, this is my opinion, but, you're dealing with people that are doing some pro moves on us to really do what they can to take away liberties. That's what it is. There's no other way to polish that turd. It's what it is. This is this is redistricting, the way it was done. And if you don't tell me it's not gerrymandering, then you don't know what gerrymandering is. That's exactly what happened here. And we're kind of left holding the bag. It's like, it stinks, but the courts aren't going to listen to it. Nobody's going to hear anything about it. So this is the pill we got to swallow. So what do we do with it? All right, we'll take lemons and make lemonade here. So that's what we got to do. So please get involved. Get in there. And now more than ever, now that we kind of been put behind the 8 ball as far as getting conservative representation out there, then it's time for us to do our thing to make sure that happens.
I might also mention, Mike, that I am meeting with the Young Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
I have talked with several of them. They will be attending our luncheon as our guest. And we need to start grooming our young people to get very involved here in Chaves County.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing is we get a lot of retirees and folks like that, and we love every one of them. But, yeah, we need some young blood to pass the baton so we can go sit on our porches and yell at people to get off our lawn.
Well, speaking about young people, we are going to have an essay contest this month.
Okay.
And it will be on patriotism. And we will be probably hitting the 8th graders here in Chaves County.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So be on the lookout for that. We'll probably talk about more here in future visits on the radio. And this is part of that outreach side, too. Scholarships, things like that for kids. A lot of that going on through the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women, too. But, yeah, it's this is the time to step up and act and to get involved. I will tell you this. People that don't believe the things you believe are already working for the next cycle. You need to be doing the same.
You are absolutely right. Thank you, Mike. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's where you have to understand this here. So please come to the meetings. At very least, educate yourself. So when you go to vote, when it's that time, you're voting for things that you can say that this is what you're for, as opposed to, and that's unfortunately, I really feel like our elections have turned into American Idol popularity contest, and it's like, well, that guy seems cool, and it's like, that's wonderful, but can he run a country? And it's like, I don't know.
We did go over the voting with the Republican Party, and we actually did better than we had expected in this election. And as I said before, we did keep Chaves County red, and that is our hope to continue to do that.
Well, if we don't keep fighting, we're going to lose it too. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's just the truth. So get involved. Come out and start by eating delicious enchiladas and rellenos next Wednesday. Come listen. Come hear what I have to say, and come see get your head out of the sand and come see what's going on in our world, and let's do something to make it better. So.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you having me on. It's
Anytime.
Always a delight to be
Anytime.
here. And hopefully get our message out to your listeners.
Absolutely. Again, folks, go to the Chaves County Federated Women's Republic. I just botched that. The Chaves County Federated Republic of Women's Facebook page. Go there. You'll see a link to RSVP for the luncheon and meeting next Wednesday.
The 15th.
The 15th. You start 11:30?
The doors open at 11:30. Lunch is served at 12 noon.
At high noon. So get there a little early, get you a good spot, and then we'll get everything underway about noon. You'll be done about 1. And so if you have to go back to work and all that. So
exactly.
So maybe cut out of the office a few minutes early to get over to lunch, and then come back and be back by lunch is over there. Yeah. And then set your calendar every third Wednesday of the month at noon. Come on out to the convention center. That way you just know, because each month will be a different speaker, a different topic to educate you on and get you ready for it, especially as we get closer to the next election cycle here.
Absolutely.
So, good deal.
Absolutely.
And do you guys have a website too where people can
We
reach
do
them?
not.
Okay,
We do
so
not.
all strictly on the Facebook there.
Absolutely.
But and then of course, if you want to get more involved, become a member or volunteer or get more involved in what's going on, please reach out next Wednesday. Come on and talk to any. If you can't make the meeting, shoot a message to the Facebook page and say, hey, I'm unfortunately I can't be there Wednesday, but I'd love to get more involved. Someone will reach out to you and talk to you and invite you to the next meeting and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. We would be delighted to hear from people. As a matter of fact, folks, it really is time for all of us to step up.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's complacency is very easy to do, but that's going to be the death of us if we all choose to go that way.
You're absolutely right. It is our mission always to get involved with this community and to let people know that we're out here and we are the conservative voice here.
Absolutely. So please come support it and come if that is your beliefs and things. You gotta build the kindling, gotta fan that fire a little bit. So come on out. So.
We're planning to do that.
Good deal.
Yes, I might mention one thing. There are 17 FRW clubs around the state.
Okay.
And as of today, Chaves County Federated Republican are the number 1 in membership.
Oh wow, the largest. Good deal.
And we would like to keep it like that.
I got a feeling folks like the Santa Fe chapter is probably struggling a little bit just because the
Santa Fe actually does very well.
Good. I figure with the makeup of the community, they probably have trouble getting members.
They work it. Farmington does incredibly well.
Yeah, I figure Four Corners area.
Even Dona Ana is doing
really even
fairly
Las Cruces.
I am the membership chair for the state FRW.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that because those areas we're not necessarily so friendly towards conservative thinking sometimes. But
you have to work it, Mike.
That's right. Keep bringing them enchiladas. That'll do it.
Okay.
You grease the wheels with enchiladas.
Well, I promise we'll do that.
Make Rennet Green available. Some people get picked. Joan, thank you very much.
Mike, thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You do the same. We look forward to seeing you next month. And for any reason, if we need to bring you guys on before then or in between, just let me know. We'd be happy to do that.
Thank you for your offer. Appreciate it.
Anytime, and we'll see you next time. It is 7:40. Man, this morning's zipping by already. Good news is I'll be going. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, day almost over? No, not that quick. All right, it is 7:40. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on news, your Kim Commando update, and quick commercial.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Carlsbad's River Blitz is coming up, the annual cleanup event scheduled for March 4th. Mayor Dale Janway says the focus of this year's cleanup will be along the Pecos River. You can pick up provided supplies starting at 7 a.m. at the Riverwalk Recreation Center. Members of the Eddy County Sheriff's Posse will be cooking lunch for all participants. If you need more information, you can call Keep Carlsbad Beautiful at 575-302-7665. A bill that would block storage of spent nuclear fuel at a proposed facility near Carlsbad has made it through a second legislative committee and is now headed to the U.S. Senate floor, despite support from local government officials from around southeast New Mexico. Holtec International applied for a federal license in 2017 to build the facility. It would act as an interim storage site for spent nuclear fuel rods that are brought to the area on rail cars from nuclear plants across the country. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Nutrien Ag Solutions of Artesia is looking for a general labor yard hand and a warehouse lead to join their team. Nutrien Ag Solutions is a respected and well-established company who values their employees. They offer a generous benefits package, competitive pay, and will train the right candidate. To apply, please stop by Nutrien Ag Solutions at 103 East Mill Road or apply online at nutrien.com or indeed.com. And for more information about the openings, call Andrea at Nutrien Ag Solutions 575-748-3510. Nutrien Ag Solutions is an equal opportunity employer.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Little cold front moving through eastern New Mexico today, and that'll be causing gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. We should get sunshine, though, our afternoon high in the upper 40s to low 50s. Overnight, clear and cold, upper teens to low 20s, and then we're in the low 50s with lots of sunshine coming up on Friday. For the upcoming weekend, 60s and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street's main stock indexes slipped on Wednesday as comments from the Federal Reserve officials intensified worries over the central bank's rate hike path. Two Federal Reserve officials on Wednesday said more interest rate rises are in the cards as the U.S. Central Bank presses forward with its efforts to cool inflation, but declined to say whether unexpectedly hot jobs data would push them back to a more aggressive monetary policy stance. President Biden was in Wisconsin Wednesday, a battleground state he won by the slimmest of margins in 2020, to press his economic message and other themes from his State of the Union address. The president promoted his economic plan at a training center run by the Laborers International Union of North America near Madison, Wisconsin. Shoppers around the world will pay even more for groceries this year than they did in 2022. That's according to retailers, consumer goods firms, and investors. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in New Mexico, but it's preventable. If you have high blood pressure or cholesterol, are overweight, smoke, or have other risk factors, it's time to talk to a cardiologist. The cardiology team at Artesia General Hospital has the experience and latest diagnostic technologies to help you identify your risk factors and diagnose and treat any heart health concerns you might face. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart. Request your cardiology appointment today at artesiageneral.com/heart.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
You may know the Bible story of Jesus walking on the water. When Jesus called him out, Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water. But he took his eyes off Jesus, looked at the storm, became afraid, and began to sink. Jesus rescued him, as he often does for all of us, and said to Peter, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Peter had great faith when keeping his eyes fixed on Jesus, but lost it when he looked at the storm. How often does that happen to us? Who was stronger, Jesus or the storm? Well, of course it was Jesus. Then why do we let the storms of this life distract us from our faith in Christ? Later in the life of Jesus, the disciples once again failed in their faith, and Jesus told them, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." If our faith is focused on the right thing, on Jesus, there's nothing that should distract us. Let's be mountain movers with our faith.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, prowl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Get pampered at Roswell Skin Center. Dr. Cometti and his team offer an array of medical aesthetics, including chemical peels, facials, Botox, filler, and laser. Loyalty membership gets you $50 off your first treatment. Get more info and sign up for rewards at roswellskin.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up here next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have Joe Nebb, former Roswell City Manager, join us on the other side, chit-chat for us before he goes off to his next adventure. So we'll have that conversation next hour. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The death toll from the earthquake, the aftershocks in Turkey and Syria continues to climb. More than 19,000 people are dead. Reporting from the disaster zone, the BBC's Anna Foster says it's a dire humanitarian situation for the survivors.
People don't have the shelter that they need. They don't have the food or the water that they need. They don't have the warmth that they need.
And Town Hall News joining forces with international nonprofit relief agency Food for the Poor to rush emergency relief, food and water to victims of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. More information available on the website srnnews.com. Well, those lines at the unemployment office, they got a bit longer last week.
The Labor Department says applications for jobless aid in the U.S. for the week ending February 4th rose by 13,000 last week to 196,000. Even with the increase, layoffs remain historically low despite the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate policy intended to cool the economy and bring down inflation. It's the fourth straight week claims were under 200,000.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Well, these folks can indeed go home again. Residents of East Palestine, Ohio, allowed back in their homes following last week's fiery toxic train derailment. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania hospitalized for observation after reporting feeling lightheaded while attending a Democrat retreat. Fetterman suffered a stroke during the campaign last year. Initial tests at George Washington University Hospital have turned up no evidence of a new stroke. However, more tests are being performed. An exceptionally gifted and wildly popular composer has died. Burt Bacharach was 94 years old. The spokeswoman says he died of natural causes at home in Los Angeles. Wall Street, the Dow's up 215 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're entering a time of increasing hostility against people of faith, a time when Christians are going to be tested on a moral and physical.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
And as hardware goes, France's highest medal of honor. But first, Brussels, where EU leaders hope to impress on him the powerful bloc is steadfast in its support of embattled Ukraine, as Russia's feared to make moves for a new offensive around the February 24 one-year anniversary of the war. Zelensky will be using the dais of the European Parliament to further his point in a plenary session, hoping to match Wednesday's speech to British lawmakers when he thanked the nation for its unrelenting support. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
A surge in mosquito-borne disease in recent months has shown the fragility of Sudan's public health system and bodes ill for coming challenges in the wake of a military coup. News and analysis at townhall.com. Big Brother is watching. In this case, Big Brother is the IRS. Now the tax agency planning to go after waiters and waitresses.
The program would monitor employer compliance based on actual annual tip revenue and charge tip data from employers' point-of-sale charge machines. The law already requires servers to report tips as income, but the new proposal would incorporate the new 86,000 IRS agents hired by the Biden administration to enforce compliance. The proposal is open to public comment until May 7th. Tisha Stevens reporting.
Japan's top automaker took a hit to its bottom line in the last quarter. Toyota reports an 8.1% drop in net profits. A global shortage of computer chips combined with soaring raw materials costs are battering the auto industry, and Toyota is no exception. The automaker says it's doing what it can to find other chip suppliers to keep up with demand. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy Viernes.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
What the world needs now.
Yeah, we lost Bert.
Is love, sweet love.
Is that the only picture they have of Burt Bacharach? Why do they keep showing that picture?
Yeah.
I mean, surely there's more pictures of Burt Bacharach than this one.
They're like, get me stock photos of Burt Bacharach.
Well, and now it's like an ambiguous two guys just looking exactly the same, and you're like, which one's Burt?
It's a shame he never released an album called Back to Back with Burt Bacharach.
It's like Bernie and Ert Bacharach.
Right. Bernie and Ert?
That's right. Bernie and Ert Bacharach. That's right.
It's the same picture. It's just cut in half for the tweet. I mean, it's literally, that's like, I guess the man wasn't photoed very often.
Just collecting paychecks, I guess.
We know his voice, not his face.
Exactly. But happy Thursday. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far.
Yes.
Got a full hour for you. Here in just a little bit, we'll bring former city manager Joe Nebb on, and he's actually going on to his next job. And so he's going to be heading out, but he wanted a chance to talk and thank the public of Roswell and talk a little bit about his service here and some of the great things that happened under his watch here. So
Bright Horizons, has it been officially announced, his next position, or?
I think so, but I'll let him say it next hour because I don't want to be spoiler of news. And he may be like, I'm not going anywhere. What are you talking about?
Only because I looked it up because a certain wrestling promotion that I watch is going to be in that city. I know it's 9 hours and 25 minutes drive away from here.
That doesn't sound like a fanboy thing at
Not
all.
at all. No. I just found out next week they're going to be in the place that he's going, and I was like, how close is that to us? If I was to say, drive, it's 9 hours and 25 minutes away.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everything seems 8 to 9 hours away to everything I want to get to in Texas.
Right? We're centrally located to everything that's fun.
8 hours away in Texas. 8 to 9.
8 to 9.
And then everything in New Mexico, it's 3 hours.
Right. You can get border to border in 3 hours.
That's
from
right.
the state.
How far to El Paso? 3 hours.
3 hours.
How far to Cruces? About 3 hours. How far to Albuquerque?
That's
About
when you
3
know
hours.
you've got a good location.
That's right.
We're 3 hours away from all.
How far to
the
Lubbock?
fun.
About 3 hours. Everything's 3 hours away. So
how far away is the fun? About 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have some fun here, but the real fun is 3 hours.
Absolutely. Well, depending on your definition of fun. I don't know.
I keep a loose definition of fun. At least I try to.
Oh, man. Speaking of fun, I'm going to remind you again and again and again, this Saturday, come have some fun with your Goddard High School and Roswell High School band boosters. This Saturday, they are fundraising, and they're fundraising by appealing to your stomach, which is the best way to fundraise.
Fundraising and appetite raising.
Exactly. So come on out to Applebee's Saturday morning for breakfast. I know you're like, Applebee's don't have breakfast. I know it. Not on Saturday. They will on Saturday. This Saturday from 8 to 10, they're going to be doing a big pancake breakfast, pancakes, eggs, bacon, the whole breakfast party on your plate. For a mere $10.
Nice.
And you can come on by to Applebee's anytime between 8 and 10. Just bring yourself. Don't need tickets or nothing. You can get tickets, I think, but you don't need them. Just show up between 8 and 10 for breakfast, hungry and ready for pancakes. Pay you $10, eat delicious pancakes, and help out the Goddard High Band boosters. Then spend the rest of your day working up another appetite because Saturday evening, the Roswell High Band boosters will be doing their first annual Noodles and Notes dinner and concert. The noodles, I believe, are spaghetti. We're going to do a spaghetti dinner, and the notes
I believe, treble clef.
There you go. Don't slurp. That's the notes, and get that little red spot right there. On your
Don't wear white.
That's right. Wear a bib if you're kind of sloppy. But they're going to have spaghetti dinner, and then, of course, the Roswell High Band will be setting the tone in the atmosphere and making nice, beautiful romantic. Make it romantic. Make it family friendly.
Sure.
Make it, somewhere in between.
Keep the PDA to a minimum, make it romantic.
It is going to be happening at the Roswell High Commons area. It is a public school.
As a student, as a graduate of Roswell High, there's plenty of PDA that went down to that Commons area. Let me tell you, I wasn't the one letting it go down, but it went down.
I too was a high school student once. I know what's going on. Making out in the lockers.
That's right.
Yeah. But singles, $20. So if you want to come and meet somebody, or if you already found one, bring them with you, and it's $35.
Yeah.
So, but and again, all the funds from the evening on Saturday will go to the Roswell High Band Boosters. So support both of our band boosters this Saturday with your stomach.
Indeed. I don't know if this is how it still works at Roswell High, but when I was going to school, the Commons area was where all the cool kids hung out for lunch, because that's where the fast food that they would bring in was, like the Arby's, Pizza Hut, stuff like that.
Okay.
The other end of the school was the cafeteria.
Okay.
And that's where I hung out with my friends, because I had free lunch, or I had reduced lunch.
Right.
So 40 cents was where I got my lunch, but it was the school lunch down here, and all the cool kids hung out in the Commons area, where there was like Pizza Hut and Arby's.
So at least you got an opportunity. None of that ever showed up in my school. We had school lunch.
Yeah, but did you had open campus though, right?
No, we did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I went out. It was not open.
But we did not.
I went out for lunch, but I wasn't allowed to. I just did.
That was actually the coolest part about when I was a junior in high school. I was in broadcast journalism, and we got press passes, because we'd have to shoot things we did a weekly news segment called Hey Watch This.
Okay.
So we'd have to shoot things for Hey Watch This or for projects off campus. So we had passes to leave campus. That was a gold card, man.
See, for me, it was I didn't do enough extracurricular activities in school. I played hockey and stuff, but it wasn't affiliated with the school.
Yeah.
So the things I did weren't high school sports. I was doing other. But anyway,
I'm on the community curling team.
I was not worthy of a parking pass for the school, because I was, in their eyes, a degenerate that I just went to school and left, which they're not wrong.
Just a student.
But anyway, little did they know I have friends in low places. I was good friends with the class president, who did not drive because his parents didn't trust him. Therefore, he gave me his pass that he gets because he's student council president.
Now, did you have to become his chauffeur?
Not him.
Okay.
But his twin sister, who I was also friends with, rode with me every day.
Okay.
I had to pick her up. He rode with he was dating ladies.
I see.
And trying to,
Well, he's class
charming.
President. He's of a certain ilk.
That's right. Yeah.
He can't be seen with
at that point. Yeah, I was.
He can't be seen with peons like you.
I was separating. He was. That was middle school.
Right.
Now it's high school. But anyway, but the cool part was that his parking spot was on the teacher side, not on the student side. So every day at lunch, when all the teachers are out looking at the student parking lot, seeing if kids are leaving, there's me on the teacher side just getting in my car and bada bing, bada boom.
See, this is where
that's where I
awesome.
lucked out.
That's awesome. See, this is where I'm going to date myself though on because I'm sure he's no longer with us. But when I was, I could be wrong on that. When I was in school, there was a dude in a pickup truck parked right at the edge of the student parking lot. We called him Mighty Mouse because he was tiny, but he was mighty. And Mighty Mouse would always sit right there at the edge of the student parking lot waiting to see if any students would leave. My house was at the end, like here's the track for Roswell High. You go down 2 blocks and there's my house.
Okay.
And back then there was no huge fence blocking the exit of the track. You could just walk right off.
So you could just
I would
go.
just walk right off campus from that way and go 2 blocks down and be home.
Nice.
My parents were out doing whatever, so yeah, I just hang out.
Free reign. Yeah, no, I didn't.
It's a miracle I graduated.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do things we did as kids.
Right.
These are not what not to do kind of moments. But I had a lot. And matter of fact, my car that year was kind of they're all your high school. They're all, unless you had rich parents to buy you Camaros or Corvettes, you had pieces of junk. My piece of junk was a Pontiac 6000 at that time.
Ooh.
And it had a starter issue. So it would literally be like, come on, car, because we only had 30 minutes to go from lunch to get, and so we needed every bit of that 30 minutes to go to McDonald's or wherever we're going, grab your stuff and get back in time for that bell. And so I'm sitting in the, come on,
I had a friend
finally go roar and like let's roll. But there were some times
who
where
kept a shovel handle in his back seat because he had to get under and smack the starter to get it to work.
Oh yeah, got to spray. Yeah, there's all kind of stuff we had to do to get things to work back then. But
times are better. That's all we're trying to say. It's dystopian, but times are better. All right,
we're just different. It's the same.
That's right. Same debauchery, different.
Cars have better technology than ours did. But anyway,
they really do.
It is 9:16. Let's go ahead and get you and me and we all up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Little cold front moving through eastern New Mexico today, and that'll be causing gusty wind up to 35 miles an hour. We should get sunshine, though, our afternoon high in the upper 40s to low 50s. Overnight, clear and cold, upper teens to low 20s, and then we're in the low 50s with lots of sunshine coming up on Friday. For the upcoming weekend, 60s and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. This is the situation today. It does not look like it right now because it's sunny with barely a cloud in the sky, but they say we have a slight chance of showers after 11, mixing, they say snow showers, mixing in with rain after 2. I don't know where the snow is coming, but that's what they say. Mostly sunny, otherwise a high of 49 today. Winds are going to be breezy out of the north, 15 to 20 here this morning, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour later this afternoon. Our chance of precip today is only 20%, so that does mean an 80% chance it won't do anything. Mostly clear with an overnight low of 20 tonight with winds out of the northwest 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny, 48 for a high, so not warming up a whole lot tomorrow. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. But for your weekend, things do warm up a bit. Increasing clouds, but a high of 61 on Saturday with south winds 5 to 15. Sunday, partly cloudy and 67. But Sunday night and into Monday, we're looking at chances at moisture, 40% chance of showers Sunday night, mostly cloudy, 35, 50% chance of rain Monday, and 40% chance of some rain showers Monday night. So I think we're going to get some moisture, hopefully. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk with Joe Nebb, former city manager here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services, LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Lots of folks are buying used vehicles these days. And you know, they're just as proud of them as if they were brand new. And why not? The pre-owned cars and trucks at Roswell Ford look and smell brand new. And Roswell Ford stands behind every pre-owned vehicle with a 3-day money-back guarantee and a complimentary 90-day 4,000-mile warranty. Roswell Ford has more than 400 vehicles in stock, by far the biggest selection in this part of the state, with new Fords arriving all the time. So it only makes sense to come see us first when you're ready to start car shopping. Speaking of pride, our customers are just tickled with our mobile service van that comes to your home or work and turns your driveway or parking lot into a service bay. We can take care of routine maintenance like oil and filter changes, tire rotations, and battery service, and you don't have to be without your vehicle. Of course, some restrictions apply. For great selection and great service, you can count on your friends at the Tailgate Nation.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, former city manager here for Roswell, Joe Nebb, with us, or back with us, actually. We've had Joe on a few times before. Morning, Joe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for spending some time with us. I know I'm sure you got a lot on your plate right now as you move on to your next phase in your life here. And, of course, you're taking on basically the same job you did for us here in Laredo, Texas. So,
yes, sir. Yes.
So I imagine it an exciting time for you and your family as you get ready for new adventures and all that stuff. So I imagine busy packing, and or you gotten. How close do you like packed up ready, or you're like, oh man, I got a ways to go?
You know, we've been working on it for a little while, but of course you accumulate a lot of stuff over time, and every one of our pieces of junk is a treasure. And so,
is there going to be a yard sale at the Nebb residence this weekend?
We may have to have one. We are selling the house, and so
sure.
Please look online. It's available.
Sure. Well, it's a hot real estate market. I think you'll sell your house pretty quick around here.
I think it's good.
But for folks that don't know, of course, how many years did you serve as a city manager? It's quite a few. I just don't.
It was 5.5.
I think it was around 5.
Yeah. April 17th, 2017.
There you go. And so about 5.5 years serving as our city manager. And first off, for me and for many else, thank you for your service to the community. I know not every day's a picnic, but you did a lot of great things to help, create new opportunities. And really, for folks that aren't familiar, the city manager job, they're kind of the person that runs the city. I mean, they're the highest non-elected official in the city government. So basically, now he answers your marching orders to the mayor and the city council. But at the end of the day, you're the one that gives everything to the city council. Whenever they're making decisions about various ordinances or budgets or all that, it's the city manager that's getting that information, presenting, having the various departments put their budgets together. You're the one that's coordinating everything that kind of gets presented at a city council meeting.
I started using an analogy of an hourglass as being an example of it. So
sure.
In the top bulb, you've got the elected officials that are delivering a vision. They're delivering the policies, the processes. They're creating the laws of that. And then in the bottom bell, you have all of the staff, all the resources to get the work done.
Sure.
City manager is that little spot in the middle. And so as long as it's open and as long as the channel's moving, you've got information moving a couple different directions.
Sure.
I really always looked at my my job as being a translator, of taking that vision from these elected officials and translating it out to staff and vice versa.
Sure.
Because there's that synergistic
making the dream reality, or making the
it is. They have to work together in order to accomplish the services for the city.
Yeah, it's kind of a finely tuned orchestra there when you do some of that stuff. But and that's so you kind of act as that liaison, because and also when there is a problem that arises where city council wants to go this direction, but maybe the citizens are going in a different, you're also that person that says, all right, let's set up the meetings, let's see, and let's work out these issues. And so you're also, when you're also kind of guiding and orchestrating the city and how it does its thing, you're also playing referee a little bit for the various entities to make sure that they're all on the same page.
Yeah, I think referee is a good term. Coach, cheerleader, it's a little bit of everything, right?
Sure.
And it is, and it's to make sure that you create those opportunities where the elected officials can hear from the entire citizenry and vice versa and everything, because we're all human. We're all different based upon our experiences, based upon a lot of different skill sets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at life all differently. So the whole idea is to try to pull that together so you can move in one direction, and
Sure.
it's a challenge at times, because you got certain personalities that are stronger than others.
Yeah,
and you want to make sure that I think the best run cities are the ones that have really good diversity and can hear all the voices,
mm-hmm.
because they make the best decision, and that's what I've always appreciated with Roswell. 10 city councilors and an elected mayor, 11 individuals there looking out for the city of Roswell.
The largest in the state, by the way.
Largest in the state. And I will tell you that it's just a thing of beauty when they are in sync and when they are taking care of business that way. It is really nice.
Absolutely. And another beauty of it, and this is a beauty of it, is, let's face it, we all know this part of the state, we're generally a conservative leaning public. You know, most of the people that live and call Roswell home are generally conservative. I'm not saying everyone is, but generally. But if you look at the makeup of our city council, I would argue that that's not the case at all. You've got the full spectrum of from our 10 representatives to folks that lean very liberal and that ideology to very conservative. So we have an amazing mix of that, which is exactly what you want on a city council.
And I would agree. Yeah. I think that diversity is just so important.
Yeah.
And they have, and you know, and the cool thing is, even when they disagree and when they fight, I mean, you can read about it in the news and everything, but really, they respect each other. They are working toward each other, and is at times they just don't hear each other.
Sure,
you know, and so the idea is to get it done.
Well, and let's face it, every one of our city councilors, they care and love this community deeply, or they would not be doing the job that they're doing for. Because they're not doing it for the power, fame, and glory, because there's none of that to be had in that position. It's a lightning rod position. Even, you know, the mayor really is a lightning rod, but each city councilor, they got their own stick on their forehead too, waiting for a lightning bolt. But the thing is, it's just we all come from different backgrounds and passions, and we all want this city to be great. And that's where the debates happen, because some people think it should go in this way, that way, and that's where the debates happen. And that's where the city manager is like saying, all right, well, let's make sure all voices are heard. Let's see where all things, so we can give all the information possible. So when the city council does make a definitive move in a direction or another, they've had every single aspect covered before they make that decision.
Right.
So, and that's really, at the end of the day, kind of what the city manager makes sure. They've got the tools to do their job. The people that have to make the city run have the tools to do their job too. So when the city council says, make everything purple, he says, all right, well, let's make sure we've got everything we need to make everything purple. You know?
I've always said, if I can make sure that the staff and the employees have the tools to do their job, the city manager's job gets really, really easy. Because they're out there doing fantastic work, they're taking care of the people and everything. And
you're
so,
just there to put out fires.
It's to deal with those exceptions to the rule.
Sure, absolutely.
And so
let's ask. Looking back to your 5.5 years here, obviously you came to Roswell with a lot of experience as a city manager, and you're going to take that with you when you go to Laredo. Yes. But let me ask, how much have you grown in the last 5 years as the city manager of Roswell? What's lessons learned? What are things that you kind of say, okay, this is what I'm taking from my Roswell experience with me to Laredo? What's those things?
And really, I'll talk a lot more about Roswell than Laredo right now as well too. But there's a lot of similarities there. And let me start with the people. First off, is that the people are fantastic. I mean, everybody within this ribbon from Canada to Mexico in this ribbon, they're true people. They are down their heart. They'll say it
Salt
how
of
they
the
mean
earth.
it. They are just perfect. And so it's really easy to work for individuals like that. But you take it out from there, and I just remember back when I first got here, the challenges for Roswell was more on its focus than anything else, because it's and I'll use Mayor Kintai's process with that. It's an oasis. It is an area that we have people coming and going. It's regional trade hub. A lot of different ways to say that.
We're Mecca for other parts
That's right.
of the state.
But if you want to go anywhere else, you got a little ways to drive. or
we're like that rest stop between the next big destination. That's for a lot of folks. Yeah,
and Laredo has those similarities too. So it's really cool about that. But when I first got here, the thing was trying to re-engage with the public, re-engage with that. I can remember that there were some billboards out there with the unions, the police unions, the blue collars.
Yeah, I remember. About time you joined here, there was a little bit of contention there.
It was a really tough time because the city council was not able to express themselves well enough to the employees that they mattered, that they were important. And so when I got here, we started to shift that entire model and said, we're going to take care of the employees. Every budget I put together for the last 5 years started with taking care of the people first, then the resource, then the services, and then to the capital projects. And, and I'm sorry to tell everybody out there that cities do not have enough money to take care of everything. There is so much money to go around, and so you have to take care of the highest priorities first, and you work your way down.
Sure, yeah, because if it was the case, then every city would be paved in gold and have beautiful. But that's not the case.
So we established a whole different classification compensation plan for the employees, and we were able to get minimum salaries to increase over the last 5 years over 20%. Because the challenge was we weren't able to hold on to people. The police department was indicative of that. We would train people, and then they would go be police officers elsewhere because they would pay better.
Yeah, we were supplying other departments with some highly qualified people.
Yeah, and this whole shift has allowed us. We have actually more laterals coming back to us now.
Good,
because of that structure.
Create that environment, a different environment.
So we always put people first. And that goes into the other thing that I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish was just the outreach to the public. We established a very simple, it's a database called the Fix-It form.
Okay, yeah.
It's online, and the problem is that we would get phone calls, and we'd say, well, I told so-and-so that they need this problem, the pothole was out here. And it would never get fixed. Well, this created a very nice system that those that are sitting at home at 2:00 in the morning worrying about that pothole or that dog barking could put the information in, and we kept track of it. It was digital, and so we were able to work all the way through with that. The other things that we did citizen surveys. We did a couple of them. Again, there's no surprise that our biggest challenges are streets, crime. And the favorite service, I think, for everybody is the fire department. So it was it walks all the way through the gamut of over 39 different services out there.
And for folks that don't know, and if you don't know, I think you had your head in the sand for the last 5 years, but that's something that you, as a city manager, have always. I mean, even during COVID, when we're not supposed to be gathering and all that, you were still doing what you could to keep the public informed through virtual public meetings. Obviously once the COVID subsided, we can go back and sit in rooms and look at each other. But even during COVID, you were still having these public forums and things, obviously in a virtual form, but in an attempt to keep the public and the city on the same page on what the needs are and how to address them.
Yeah, I think the pandemic was a really nice thing. And I'll even go back a little farther. Before I got here, in 2015, the city of Roswell, the employees did not have a City of Roswell email account.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. We were kind of in the Stone Age before you came in, when anything technology related, and so that was probably your first challenge, was getting.
And so it was I guess the thing that we always preached was one voice, one Roswell. Because somebody calls the city, they didn't know who they were really talking to. They knew they were talking to the city. So it didn't matter, if it was a dog problem that they're calling.
You're supposed to be the catch-all, fix-all.
That's
and
right.
It's like, I don't even know what that is.
So the whole thing is that we have to make sure that we have this interconnection through these services, because worst thing to do is to say we're going to do one thing and then not follow through.
Sure.
And so it was. So this outreach and the pandemic was. I think it just put us in a faster cycle to come up, bring our technology up, and everything. Now everything could work virtually if it had to. We just like the more interaction with the public.
Just a gee whiz, what if? Say you guys weren't so proactive when you first got here with this. How different, in your opinion, would have COVID, us trying to navigate? Say, obviously you still had to do a lot of place, but you at least had a place to start. By the time the pandemic hit, you already had some things in place. It's like, okay, that infrastructure is already in place, thank God. But let's say you came in and didn't go in that direction and we hit, like, how different do you think Roswell would look to us right now had these things didn't? Just gee whiz curious.
Yeah. Well, and really, I think Roswell's still feeling the effects of the pandemic.
Sure.
I mean, we're still feeling the carryover. We're still, all the conversations going on in the city is still there. It would have been really, really difficult. I don't think we could have made some of the good decisions that we did through the pandemic if we had not already had that momentum.
Sure.
In order to do this outreach. And it's I look at it with economic development as well too. Is that before a business even looks at coming to Roswell, they're Googling, they're stalking us on.
That's the first. They did it long before they even talked to us.
They know all the information. I think when it comes down to when you start to get them in the door, now they're looking at the relationship. They're looking at who you really are, and can I do business here? Can I do that?
Sure.
And I would say that you see that within the healthcare industry. You see that within all these industries that we rely upon.
Sure. And I will say this, and this is a credit to the entire city, from obviously you to the city council to all the departments. The city of Roswell with this the cannabis and how the state handled that. They basically, legislature just passed it, and then the state said, y'all figure out how to do it. We're not going to give you really any structure or guidelines on that. Figure it out, but you're going to do it by this date. And a lot of cities struggled with doing that, and Roswell did a really good job of first coming up with a plan, saying this is going to be our rule book for how we handle cannabis in Roswell, and then B, getting everyone else on board there. I know I saw lots of stories in the news where other cities and municipalities can't figure it out, and I even heard a lot of people said, well, look what Roswell's doing, maybe we can emulate what that's going on. So I think in the last here post-COVID, one of the biggest crisis our state and communities have had to handle is figuring out how to get on board with legalizing cannabis. And regardless of your feelings on cannabis, I think the city of Roswell did an amazing job on getting a plan in place and getting executed in a relatively pain-free way.
On the front side of that whole legislation and everything for at the city level, Roswell created a more restrictive ordinance in order to regulate. It wasn't to penalize the industry or anything. It was to make sure that we protected the integrity of our neighborhoods and all of those pieces in there. We understood that what the law was. We understood what it was, and so while we were a little more restrictive, and I would say that all of our businesses that are here, they may have struggled at the front side of this thing. They all understood what we were after.
Everyone's going through a learning curve.
It became a very good partnership afterwards.
Sure.
I know we had a couple sponsors at the UFO Festival last year as well too. Very, very nicely done. And a lot of people used Roswell's legislation in order to help develop theirs.
And here's the other thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys took input from the businesses, from the people that are doing this and saying, what you're seeing. So it wasn't just like, you all sat in a room and said, here's the rules. You took all angles and said, okay, how do we make it easier for you, but at the same time protect our citizens? And they worked with you guys on that. So the rules that ultimately came out was kind of a compromise between the cannabis industry and municipalities.
Anytime you can get the stakeholders at the table, you make better decisions.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what that strength of the council has been with that side.
Yeah. And so, so things like that. So let's go converse real quick. So we got about a few more minutes here.
Okay.
anything you missed the mark on? Anything you're like saying, man, if I had more time, I'd do this? What, things that you wanted to get done, you didn't get a chance to do?
We had a lot of momentum going, and any time, even if we would have changed one individual on the elected body, it changes the dynamics of that council.
Sure.
It brings a new voice to the table. We did a lot of orientation early on, trying to get everybody brought up to speed with how we got to today.
Yeah.
I would say that, some of the pieces that are out there right now, and it's probably more of the current events that are happening now, some of the things that we're tackling, like the MERP, the
that's a hot button issue right now. Yes.
It's a very complex situation that I wish we could have done a little bit better job of explaining exactly how it works, because it's really difficult when somebody doesn't understand it and they think it's wrong.
Well, that's where the confusion. It seemed like in the legalities, some people were confusing what's legal versus not legal, and so people, and rightly so, if people are worried about, hey, that's illegal, then we need to make sure. But also at the same token, all right, well, is it legal? We don't know. We need to vet it out and talk about it. So.
And it's all based upon the personality of the council as to what their willingness to do is. But those were complex issues.
Sure.
And having a shift of the council, 40% of the council changed, new mayor and everything. Getting that information into their hands quick enough so that they could make a decision, because I'm sorry, for every elected official, I congratulate them. I say, I'm so sorry for you now.
Right.
Because it's
Congrats
a
and
tough
condolences.
job.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, that's the joke I do all the time whenever I give those. Like, congratulations and condolences. I mean, I joke when I say it, but that's kind of the point. You're like, be careful what you wish for. You just got a whole heap of work handed to you here. So, that's that's the beauty of it. And so really at the end of the day, I think what was not our friend there was just a bad timing thing. It was a changing of a guard moment, and it was probably something that we probably need the same people in the room to get some continuity to the whole thing.
And I look at it. Yeah, I mean, we're coming out of COVID. We're doing we hit a lot of the marks, and there's a lot of stuff that didn't never fit right.
Sure.
Right? And so, looking at the coach, looking at a change, it's okay. It's hopefully it will help Roswell move to that next step as well too.
Sure. Well, and at the end of the day, we want to make sure we promote local, do local, and but at the same time, we want to do it right and legally and give opportunity for everybody. And that's where you got to have that balance, because you got to be careful in any government entity. I don't care what level it is. You can't show favoritism. You can't show preferential treatment to anyone because, well, I mean, I'm not naive. I know it happens all the time and does it every time in government, but as a true transparency, you can't do that kind of thing. And I will say the fact that we're seeing these debates and everything going on is a good thing, because we're seeing that transparency in action and what's going on.
I would agree.
So for the city council to have these debates, to have it in a public forum, for people in the newspaper, on the radio talking about it, that's nothing but good stuff. So we can make sure we get it right. Right. Sure, there might be someone that has a feather ruffled at the end of the day, but we did it the right way, and that's what's important, especially when it comes to government work.
I agree, and I always look at it as we're spending other people's money in order to provide the services that we're doing.
Yeah,
and so that transparency is so important.
Absolutely. So, what are you taking away from your time here in Roswell? What's been some of your things that you just enjoyed the most, or things that you truly made it home for you?
It's the people.
Yeah.
It truly is. There are so many people in Roswell that care, that want to make a difference, and they're so giving of their time, so giving of their spirits. One of the things that Beth and I enjoyed was being the United Way sponsors for that 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
And we were early into the community, but we were given that opportunity to help, and I'm a big proponent of United Way, and actually most of the nonprofits out there, because these are groups of volunteers. the cities are the same. Cities provide services.
Sure.
Cities are doing all of that. What makes it the difference for every community is the people and these nonprofits that are giving of their time to make this difference of their mission and everything. That's what sets every community apart.
Absolutely.
And I Roswell's in my heart, and it'll be there forever. Anything I can do to help in the future, I'm there. And I have a new family that I will be learning a lot about, and hope to do the same thing and just make a positive difference in their community.
I imagine, Laredo, of course, they're not quite as deserty as we are here, but you'll stay in enough warm enough weather where you can kind of. Will you be able to now? Have you adopted an addiction to green chili since you've been here, or and if so, are you able? Do you have a connection to get you some more from in Laredo?
There'll be regular pilgrimages up to New Mexico to bring back red and green.
There you go, get you some chili.
But the really neat thing with even Laredo is so we have Laredo on one side of the Rio Grande, and on the other side is Nuevo Laredo.
Okay.
The Mayor Trevino mentioned that they consider themselves one community.
Okay.
And there's 4 bridges that cross that bring goods back and forth across the border and everything. And so that relationship is so synergistic for them that, it's I can't wait to try out some more.
Sure. Well, that's a unique, and that's a unique because that's something that you'll probably first time ever experience something like that. Because I imagine Roswell and certainly the other cities you've managed don't have. That's a unique thing to Laredo here, so that's cool. Yeah. Where each challenge is unique, because I imagine like when you came to Roswell, that's its own challenges too. Because let's face it, it's a town of 50,000, which is not a large town in any way, shape, or form in terms of population. But I guarantee you can go to any country on the planet and ask them if they know or heard of Roswell, New Mexico, and they can say yes. And so that's a unique challenge when you have a town of this size that everybody and their uncle knows, with the population of us, but with the recognition of a New York City. I mean, that's a very unique thing to have. So it in and of itself creates its challenge, both good and bad. I mean,
both good and bad. Yeah. And but I think that's why that brand is so important. So in Laredo, the bridges. So it's the goods traveling back and forth between these two nations. That's their bread and butter. For Roswell, I mean, Roswell's got a very diverse set of resources. I mean, the air center, the dairy, the hospital systems, and everything. But it has that brand out there that can help lift all of this as well too. And the more we capitalize upon that brand, the stronger that we can raise all the ships for that. And I think that was one of the things that we tried to do in the last 5 years was reinvigorate that as well.
Absolutely.
And make sure that everybody is receiving that benefit.
Absolutely. So we've got a few minutes. Crowning achievement. If when you look back at your time here in Roswell, what's the one, if you could put one thing that you'd say I'm most proud of? Like, I'm so happy that got done while I was city manager of Roswell.
There's so many, and
that's what I was saying. Can you narrow it to one?
and I'll get it down to one. It's probably it was our response to the pandemic.
Gotcha.
We irritated the governor every once in a while just because of the spoken and whatever else was going on.
But again,
it wasn't intentional.
That's how good government works.
That's right.
If you just blindly follow things, sometimes you know what happens.
I mentioned earlier about how important the employees are and taking care of them. So during the pandemic, just the shutdown on the businesses. Nobody knew how that was going to act, and nobody knew what was going to happen. We cut $31 million out of the budget. We cut 101 jobs. 46 of those jobs actually had people in them. But what we were able to do is that and this was working with Councilor Perry, a lot of the city councilors at that time. But what we did is that we found a way to allow an employee to leave with a 3-month severance or to buy out 1 more year to get an early retirement. It cost us $800,000 to do that project. It saved us $2.5 million.
Not to mention a few people said, you know what, I'd love to retire early and things. I was, they're at that point, and rather than cut someone on the other end that you're going to need for the next 20 years, let's go off into the sunset and let's bring them in.
And we knew if we released anybody into the economy, it was going to impact our recovery as well. And so the whole idea was we had 46 people take us up on that and, save $2.5 million within that structure. We took everybody else that we had and we moved them into essential services because we couldn't run some of the museums, the zoo.
Obviously, there's no need for a library right now if no one can go in it and open it. So
we moved individuals into different departments in order to keep them as essential. And so the impact of the city being affected by the pandemic and the structure that we had was negligible because we did not put people onto the street. And
I'm very curious. I imagine at the end of the day, some of those employees that got a chance to do a different job in the city might have ended up staying, kind of saying, well, yeah, I used to work at the library or whatever, but I actually had more time, more enjoyable time over at the water department or wherever they were kind of reschedule that. So I imagine you probably got a few employees that stayed in those areas and turned out they liked that area better than what they were doing with this.
It is, and we did voluntary reassignments every year as well too, and that was just taking a few of our employees saying, "Hey, we're going to go help out this department."
Yeah,
and that whole structure was to build that relationship with One Roswell, and so we did. You find that. Individuals would have a skill set for these areas that they never even thought was possible when they first started.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's a cool side with it too. And but yeah, I can see why why that, because at the end of the day you were handed a big old bag of garbage and said make a gourmet meal out of this. And you guys as best you could did that, know, and that's.
Mike, I went out and bought a crystal ball that sits on my desk, and I'll be taking it with me because everybody started asking, well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, this is a Harry Potter quality crystal ball.
Let's check. Come here.
Because it's like, yeah, here, you use it. I kind of joke. It sat on my desk for 2 weeks, and I said, oh, it's upside down, and I turned it over. But for those of you that may not know, a crystal ball doesn't have a top. But
it's the ball.
And it was like, I leaned on a lot of different people. I mean, we talked with Excel. We talked with a lot of businesses out there as to what do you think is going to happen with this? And nobody understood what the impact of downtown would be or anything else.
It was uncharted territory.
It was. Yeah. We did fine through it. Most of our businesses, we lost a few to it, and that were just, they were paycheck to paycheck kind of businesses. And hopefully we'll be able to help bring them back over time.
Absolutely. So. It's one of these things we pick up, it's no different than we lost so many people and things that we've got to recover and move on from that. And it's no different when it comes to businesses and everything else too. Yeah. But we're getting there. We're getting back to, thank goodness we're getting to a place where, that seems like it's farther in the rearview mirror versus more of what's coming ahead. So
Roswell has a lot of exciting things coming. I'm not as in tune as I was, but I know there's a lot of different businesses looking. We have that asset out there with the Air Center. We have all those different types that we've talked about. We're seeing that advancement, and so that's a good thing. If we can get more opportunity, then that just helps build our people even better.
Sure. So, last question. As you move on, any words of advice to the city? Things you'd like to say? Hey, we got this here, but keep an eye on this while I'm gone. Is there anything that you any advice, any wisdom for the folks that are left to keep going after doing the job here?
Probably the one thing I will say, and what I learned through all of the interviews and everything else is that there's a lot of people out there with great technical skills. They have the degrees, they have all the background and everything else. At the end of the day, it is about the relationships. And so the word of advice I would have for everybody is lean on each other in order to get the work done. we make a lot fewer mistakes when we have more people in the room than we have less. And now it's challenging. It's like herding cats at times. But
a lot of voices.
It is worth it. At the end of the day, you make less mistakes. If everybody thinks the same way, oh my goodness, it's not a good thing. It's you're going to go down a path and just run into that wall and just keep running into the wall.
Got to get back to that part we were talking about the council.
It is the debate. It is the conversations that you have. It's the challenges that you have within that structure. So, but lean on each other, because I've never met an elected official, I've never met an employee that truly wants to ever do a bad job. They want to do the best that they can for whoever it is.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that you focus on that, and I told Laredo, I said, where a lot of people see problems and issues, I see challenges to overcome, and I see opportunity to succeed. That's the difference between that structure. You can either focus on the bad or you focus on the good, and you keep building that good.
Absolutely.
And so that'd be my words of advice to anybody. And again, I will help wherever I can with anybody.
Well, I can say this from me personally, and I'm sure you've had quite a few other residents talk to you here, and we'll talk to you before you head on to Laredo here. But thank you for your service to this community. Thank you for leading us and navigating and helping us over this last 5.5 years. And was every day a victory? No, but right. We are appreciative that every day you were fighting and helping to make this a great place. And I would say Roswell is a better community today than it was 5.5 years ago before you joined us here. So
Mike, thank you. And and the same for you as well too. The work that you do here at the radio and everything is very important for that connectivity of the city. It's so important. So thank you.
Some people would probably disagree, but
I think we all have that kind of a fan club. But
I never lie. I'm a full-on idiot, and I'll admit it. But I'm an idiot that's going to get you to learn stuff.
That's right.
Don't be like me. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it, and hopefully we get to see you from time to time, and maybe a UFO festival. You and the missus can come back to town and eat up some foods and have some fun.
We might very well crash back over.
Yeah. Perhaps participate in the costume contest or something. you and Mrs. Nab just sit there in your alien themed.
We might have to.
Maybe a Cowboy Laredo / alien theme thing going on.
I'll start working on it now.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, it is 9:57. Let's take a quick break before we wrap up today's show. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. It was a higher open this morning for Wall Street, the market bouncing back at the opening bell from yesterday's losses. A flurry of earnings reports today. Breakfast food giant Kellogg reporting a fourth quarter loss of $98 million after turning a profit in the same period a year earlier. Japan's top automaker took a hit to its bottom line in the last quarter. Toyota reporting an 8.1% drop in net profits. A global shortage of computer chips and soaring new materials costs are battering the auto industry. Better than expected sales for PepsiCo in the fourth quarter after it hiked prices for its drinks and snacks. The Central Bank of Sweden has raised a key interest rate by 0.5 percentage point. The bank saying that inflation is far too high and has continued to rise. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect, and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
We got to go. Have an amazing day. Take care, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden might travel to Poland this month to mark the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
A trip to Poland in support of neighboring Ukraine is under consideration, but the president says it's still under discussion.
I haven't made a decision when I'm going to Poland, or even if for certain I'm going to Poland.
Since the start of the war last February, the Biden administration has provided billions of dollars in security assistance to Ukraine. And in Tuesday's State of the Union address, the president repeated that the U.S. will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, the death toll from that Turkey-Syrian earthquake continues to rise. Now more than 19,300. The Pentagon saying more about the Chinese surveillance balloon that was